Ooh, Brad, check it out.
There's a variety of packages, so we can take care of any additions you want to do up here.
This could be a song about home insurance.
All right, I'll try it out.
Wait, maybe it's about auto insurance.
With Nationwide, you can save up to 20% by bundling your home and auto insurance.
Bundling home and auto. 2 songs in one. What do you call that, a crossover?
No, it's more of a mashup.
Yeah, mashup. You see, that's why we're a great band.
We're not a band.
Yes, we are. We are a band. I am in a band.
Now time for a little college football. Welcome to Lynchburg, Virginia, site of today's game as the Liberty Flames host the New Mexico State Aggies. Rhett McGibbon here alongside the usual suspects for this one, DJ Jordan, alongside Pat Kelly and Matt Kamari. And guys, we look at this game. Last time we're all together, the Flames were at home. Sitting pretty, 4-3 record, looked like they were going to be bowl eligible, and now a 4-6 record. Things in disarray. They've lost their last 3. Is this a pivotal game in sense of kind of saving your season? Could you say that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm upset that we're inside in the studio, unlike last time. I mean, you guys are soft, so I'm going to blame it on you that we're out of the rain. But today, it's a very important game, especially throughout this transition to FBS. It's always going to be tough, but the last 3 games especially have been emotionally exhausting, especially that 3 overtime game against UMass. But today, it's a very, very important game for 2 primary reasons. Number one, you have to continue the 13-season non-losing streak. That's very important to build a successful program. Number 2, you got to win today because of recruiting. 6-6 is a whole lot better than a 4-8 talking point with the coaches that's going to be in a family room trying to convince top talent to come to Liberty.
Well, let's talk about this. You want a winning culture. You want the attitude of, I'm going to go to Liberty University to play and win games. Coming out 6-6, not really what you want to be doing. And then the other thing, how about personal pride? Coming to take the field, I want to know that everything that I'm going to do, I want to win the game. So I think it's huge from really the winning culture standpoint and then just from a personal pride standpoint.
Well, it all starts with today's game and our impact players. Josh Adkins, the quarterback for the Aggies, Matt, is a guy that basically got a quarter of his offensive production last time these 2 teams met.
Yeah, you're not exaggerating right there, Red. He had 4 touchdowns the last time these teams met. He's got 12 on the season, threw for 402 yards. Josh Adkins is a big guy, 6'2", 218, can find his receivers, and his receivers like to run after the catch. Josh Adkins is able to find them. They're able to make plays. They're able to get yardage after they make the catch. So Liberty's giving up 264 a game right now, so they really have to shut down Adkins and his production. That's falls on the defensive line.
And Pat, for the Flames, we're kind of looking for a bounce-back game here as Buckshot Calvert, you could say on the struggle bus here as of late, he needs to come up big for the Flames.
Yeah, we're keeping this thing really as a quarterback duel between the 2 teams. But really, as Buckshot goes, this Liberty offense goes. In their 4 wins this season, Buckshot's averaging 340 passing yards. He has 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. However, in their 6 losses, he's only throwing for 232 yards, and he's thrown 12 interceptions. So that's 16 picks on the year. Obviously not the production that you're looking for out of your quarterback, especially with an offense that throws this much. So this is definitely something that we want to make sure that Buckshot's going to need to kind of get himself in a rhythm today.
And he needs his big guy, AGG, to kind of come up big. He's been quiet the last 2 games.
He has. I mean, at 6'4", 220 pounds, you're supposed to be able to take over and dominate a game. Right. But the last 2 games specifically against UVA and Auburn, he's had very physical defensive backs who have jammed him at the line of scrimmage and taken him out of his game. You cannot let that happen today.
Yeah, you'd think with his strength to be able to power through, but it has not been the case so far. Hey, stay with us. Matt Warner, Joe Yock with a call when we return here in a rainy Lynchburg, Virginia.
Carter Bank & Trust has supported Liberty University for over 3 decades. When many were skeptical of Liberty's vision, our founder, Worth Harris Carter Jr., understood the vision and saw its potential. His instincts were correct. Liberty University has become a regional economic engine. We continue Mr. Carter's legacy by working with determined visionaries to transform potentials into realities every day. As with Liberty University, Carter Bank & Trust is proud of the past, focused on the future.
For more than 120 years, we've been there. In churches and schools, camps and senior living centers. We've been there in times of joy and in the most difficult moments, in times of loss. And our success has been measured not by the bottom line, but by our unwavering commitment to protecting our customers so they can continue their important work. Church Mutual Insurance Company, protecting the greater good.
a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
A cold, rainy Lynchburg, Virginia is the scene today as the Liberty Flames hook up with the New Mexico State Aggies for the second time this season. And with that, we welcome you into the booth here at Williams Stadium alongside former North Carolina and CFL wide receiver Joe Yock. I'm Matt Warner. And Joe, not often at this level you face a team twice in the same season. That's what we get here. New Mexico State winning round one earlier this season. What are the key factors going into facing a team for the second time?
Yeah, Matt, these offenses know each other. The defenses know each other. The coaches know each other. They have film on it. But the X factor in this game that Liberty did not have to deal with before is Terrell Hanks, a potential NFL draft pick, high draft pick. He's going to be back in this game. We'll see how this one turns out. Exciting time here at Liberty, Williams Stadium. Let's play some football.
Yeah, about set to get underway here, and it will be the Liberty offense going to work first as they're set to receive this opening kick. Peyton Pickett back to return it. He has been moved into the kick returning role for the first time this season. Has a little bit of a crease across the 20 and will fall forward to the 24-yard line. So the Flames will go to work there as Buckshot Calvert takes the field. As you heard the fellas saying in the pregame show, it's been a bit of an up-and-down season for Buckshot. A record-setting campaign a year ago, set the program record for touchdowns in a season, but the interceptions way up, and way up specifically in the last 3 ball games. 9 interceptions over the last 3 games. Really struggled a week ago against that stingy Auburn defense, and so he'll see if he can get back on track here today against the Aggies, and a defense who, quite honestly, has had their own issues this season. Buckshot looking downfield right away to Gandy Golden, and that sails over his head and falls incomplete. As we take a look at those Liberty starters in this ball game, Gandy Golden will, of course, be key. Flames' top target, big 6'4" wide receiver on the outside. Another guy that had a big game the first time these two hooked up was DJ Stubbs. 11 catches in that one. He'll also be key for the Flames' passing game.
Yeah, DJ Stubbs and Gandy Golden both had big games. You can see right there, Liberty, they set the tempo by trying to take a shot downfield on the first play of the game.
Frankie Hickson in the backfield alongside of Calvert. They're going to change the play now at the line of scrimmage. This defense for New Mexico State giving up 42.5 points per ball game. They've had their struggles, and have had their struggles stopping the run. Not a bad job there, though, as they get Frankie Hickson to the ground. Take a look at that Aggies defense, and you talked about him, Joe. Terrell Hanks, number 2, was not in the game against Liberty earlier this year. He has received an invitation to the Senior Bowl. He has, 89 tackles now in just the 8 games he's played. He is a real force on that defense and a guy to keep an eye on here this afternoon.
Disruptive football player, plays all over the field, knocks down passes, chases running backs down. He is a high energy guy who can just change a ball game.
Big third down here for the Flames, trying to get some momentum early on. That pass falls incomplete, no flags. He was looking for DJ Stubbs, couldn't connect, and the Flames offense begins with a 3-and-out.
I mean, you look at that right there, Matt. On that play, Terrell Hanks already got involved. Buckshot's first read was a drive route, and Hanks came in and jammed the receiver. Had to come off to him, come off to DJ Stubbs on that play, and wasn't able to connect.
So that'll bring on the punter. Aiden Alvis in there to kick it away for the Flames. When these two teams met the first time, a couple of big penalties on punts. They roughed the kicker to New Mexico State and ran into him another time. This time Alvis gets off a wobbly punt that will hit and take a Liberty roll down inside the 35 and settle at about the 33-yard line, which is where the Aggies will begin things on offense here today. Cold day here, just above freezing. Now, it was raining all morning long. It looks like that rain has started to kind of subside. As you see the freshman quarterback Josh Adkins take the field. He had quite the performance against Liberty earlier this year, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. A kid with a lot of talent who they hope can basically be the face of their program for the next 3 years.
Yeah, really good quarterback. I like New Mexico State's offense. They'll hit you horizontally, then they'll stretch you vertically.
Well, they're going to run it here. Huntley takes the handoff, tripped up, taken down. So not much happening there on the first down plays. We take a look at their starting lineup. O.J. Clark, dangerous wide receiver. And then those running backs, including Huntley, who you just saw, really dangerous catching the ball out of the backfield as well. They use them a variety of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I really like watching film with Josh Adkins is his ability to get rid of the ball quickly. Has a really nice quick release.
You see it there as they try to swing it out to the running back. That was Royce Caldwell coming out of the backfield, but it falls incomplete. Liberty defense, it has been a struggle at times for this group on the season. They are also allowing over 40 points per ball game. And certainly didn't have a great day against Auburn last week. Can't read too much into that one. That was just going down there playing SEC football. That's just a different animal.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams that have great days against Auburn.
Third down, pressure coming, the throw, caught, but it'll be short of the sticks as Jason Huntley makes the snag. He's dropped about 3 yards shy of the first down, and it'll be 3 and out now for New Mexico State's offense. So we saw the shootout earlier this season, 49-41. New Mexico State won that game back on October 6th. So far, and I know it's very early, but these defenses at least showing some signs of life here early on.
Yeah, I also think, too, Matt, as the rain clears out, hopefully get a little sunshine here, things dry out a little bit, the offenses will pick up. But the defenses right now have a little chip on their shoulder.
Punt drops, fortunate just to get it away, and it'll go for about 8 or 9 yards. That right through the hands of the punter, Peyton Theisler. And that'll get us to a timeout. Flames with the first break in this ball game as they'll have great field position when we come back. Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. No score here early on between the Flames and the Aggies. Liberty getting some great field position here to start their second drive. But first we check in with the third member of our crew who's braving the elements out there, and that is Bobby Bolick. Bobby?
Yeah, Matt, New Mexico State facing 2 opponents today. One they expected and one they were hoping they would not have to. Doug Martin said they probably see rain 3 times a year where they come from, so they don't have much experience with it. But he said with the forecast showing 100% chances all week, you better well guess we prepared for it. He said all week we practiced with wet balls, knowing that we were going to practice with it, or play with it, on Saturday. So they should be prepared for it, and definitely a different story for Liberty, who has, I would say, too much experience in it.
Yeah, this season especially. You remember the first couple ball games of the year, they were dealing with a lot of rain. And yeah, we checked. In Las Cruces today, it's 70. So a little bit different than what they're facing here today. Back-to-back handoffs going to Frankie Hickson. Bounces it outside, drags a tackler for the first down. And Hickson off to a nice start to this ball game. And really his fantastic junior season continues.
Yeah, Frankie has really done a good job separating himself with the running backs. Even though Liberty has a stable of great backs, Frankie's coming up on that 1,000-yard season.
Play action now, swinging out wide to Stubbs. Picks it up off the turf. And he's wrapped up and knocked out of bounds for no gain. Let's check in now, Joe, our keys to the game. And let's start with Liberty. What do you see as kind of being the keys for the Flames here this afternoon, the second time around against the Aggies?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is they got to get Buckshot back on track. He's had the last couple games here throwing some interceptions. So he's back on the home field, get back on track. And then defensively, great red zone defense.
That may get Buckshot back on track as he connects with Gandy Golden down to the 14. Good enough for a first down.
Yeah, to go back to the red zone defense thing, they're going to move. These teams are going to move the ball. But Liberty, as New Mexico State gets down into that red zone, has to make them kick field goals instead of scored touchdowns.
First down now on the 14 for Liberty. Handed off. Hickson has some running room. Down, dives forward to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, what's really impressive about Frankie Hickson, where he gains a lot of his yards, is his vision. To be able to get up and see that the hole isn't there, jump, cut, bounce, get your shoulders north and south.
And Give it right back to him. Lowers the shoulder, stood up and dropped. Not much happening there. Yeah, Frankie was really about the third string running back when the season began. You'll remember Kentori Matthews just started the season on fire running the football. He got injured, is back now, but really hasn't found a role again since returning from injury. And when he went down, Frankie Hickson kind of just started shouldering the load. Getting some help from Peyton Pickett, certainly, but Hickson has really helped this running game for Liberty. Buckshot lofting in the back of the end zone, touchdown! They left Gandy Golden all alone, and Buckshot finds him for the score.
Yeah, you look at the replay here. Matt, great patience by Buckshot waiting for Gandy Golden to come open.
Extra point attempted now by Alex Probert. That is up and just does sneak through. As Liberty draws first blood in this one, Gandy Golden had a couple of slow weeks. It helps the Liberty get on the board here first. They lead it 7-0.
We were designed to be creative. We were meant to seek the truth, to explore the world around us. Challenges, we embrace them. Compromise, never. We are a community dedicated to championing the gospel. We are champions for Christ.
Two families working in Central Virginia for 3 generations. Born and raised in Virginia, those who know tradition know it isn't old, it's established, aged. Foster Fuels and Craft Automotive are helping to grow businesses and provide jobs for families in our community and supporting growing local business. Foster Fuels and Craft Automotive, locally supporting today and tomorrow.
Antonio Gandy Golden's 10th touchdown of the season puts the Flames on top 7-0 here early on. There's a look at AGG. Having a fantastic junior campaign. Let's get to the rest of our keys to the game. This time on the New Mexico State side, Joe. What do you think is going to be key for them here this afternoon?
I think chunk yardage on the ground. You look at the previous game, when they started getting some big runs, that's what really opened up their offense and then got their passing game going. So I think they're really going to make a commitment to get some of that chunk yardage on the ground and be able to run the football. And then, like you said, hey, Buckshot's had a couple games where it's a little bit shaky, so you're going to want to, when you're going to test his confidence, pressure the quarterback, and create some turnovers. That could be a game changer for them.
Not much happening on the kickoff return. Wrapped up and dropped was Royce Caldwell. Take that back. That's Huntley on the return, and a good job by Corbin Jackson and company getting down there and getting him to the ground inside the 10-yard line. You wonder, after Liberty loses 3 straight games, and listen, we all understand, going to UVA, going to Auburn, those are tough places to play. You just kind of wondered about the mental state. Yeah. How locked in would they be coming into a game like this? Then the weather, you throw that on top of it. So far, so good.
Yeah, the psyche. The psyche is very important, especially you go to Auburn on a 3-game road trip, and then to be able to get back in your home field and put your hand in the dirt and start competing again.
Quick pass out wide, maybe a yard there is that catch made by O.J. Clark. Young man in the first meeting between these teams had 145 yards receiving in a score.
You know, you really see, Matt, early on, it's like both these teams, they sort of are what you are. And that is to be able to, they're going to try to, New Mexico State's going to try to throw the ball horizontally, get you in space, and then take some shots downfield. Liberty's run the ball, little play action pass for a touchdown. So everybody's being who they are.
Atkins looking down middle of the field, had a little time, but threw that behind his intended target, Huntley. And this is a team, I mean, they passed it a lot in the first meeting, but even as they progressed and as Atkins has become more familiar and more comfortable in this offense, they don't mind throwing it a ton. They threw it 61 times a week ago against BYU, so they have no problem just slinging it around the yard.
And they really like to throw those vertical seams, as you can see right there, but Liberty covered that very well.
3rd and 9 now. Atkins sitting in the pocket, has some time, has a receiver come open and finds him. First down yardage, and falling forward is Drew Dan. The junior out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, comes up with a big 3rd down reception.
You see right there, Matt, those are the things that Liberty cannot have happen defensively. That's a busted assignment. A linebacker's supposed to be in coverage there, and he slips out underneath on a 3rd and 9 instead of punting. It's 1st down, and they're back on the move. Got to clean up those fundamentals.
Well, that was the other thing, too, in the first meeting that you kind of recognize watching back the game is Atkins had a lot of time to sit in the pocket the first time around. Was only sacked once. And he had some time on that one as well. Huntley loses the football. It's on the turf and recovered by the Flames. I believe that's Devin Pearson that falls on it, as that ball slips out of the hands of Huntley, and the Flames with another big break, and they'll have the ball with a short field ahead of them.
Yeah, really, really nice play. I believe from the backside, not sure who it was, Juwan Wells maybe.
Yeah, Wells getting in there.
Punch that ball out from underneath. You see the brown of that football from behind, and you take your fist, punch it out from underneath, and Liberty creates, really, after the bad punt from before, it's almost like a second turnover.
So the Flames get the ball now at the 26-yard line of New Mexico State. Peyton Pickett in the backfield. They'll give it to him on 1st down. Lowers the shoulder, keeps those legs churning, gets 2, maybe 3 on that 1st down carry, his first of the game. Well, when you play a team the second time, too, you're familiar with each other, not a lot of surprises, but you can't beat yourself. You know, and that's what essentially New Mexico State has had happen here in the early stages of this ballgame.
Yeah, sometimes you don't overthink it. You just have to play your game, and like you said, don't beat yourself.
2nd and 8 now as Buckshot pulls it out, looking downfield, running out of time, looking for Pickett, goes back to him. Heads up play by Calvert to stick with it. Pickett makes the catch, able to pick up a few yards, and brings up 3rd and manageable.
You know, one of the things, Matt, that's really impressive about Buckshot throughout the season is his ability to stay alive and show some patience and then be able to complete a pass downfield, just like he did right there.
3rd and 3 now for Liberty, as the ball sits just inside the New Mexico State 20. Calvert, Gandy Golden, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. Gandy Golden running that route just past the sticks. And how many times do you see a guy catch a ball on 3rd down, a yard or 2 shy of the marker, and everybody's screaming, why would you even run a route that doesn't get you past the marker? Gandy Golden did a nice job there.
Not Gandy Golden. He's a savvy football player.
So 1st down rather from the 14. Calvert gives it to Pickett, has some room to run. Now wrapped up and taken down just inside the 10.
You know, it's one of the really impressive things about Peyton Pickett, Frankie Hicks, and their different running styles is that Pickett sort of picks his way through. He's just a little cut here, a little cut there, and next thing you know, you think he's stopped and he's picked up 4 or 5 yards. Frankie likes to sort of punch it up there and there, bounce outside, then head straight upfield. So good little mix-up between the two of them.
3 wide receivers set for Calvert. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. 2nd and 7. They're going to give it to Pickett again. Meets a wall of New Mexico State defenders who knock him back for a short pickup, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
New Mexico State's defensive line, I was very impressed with them. They got some big, strong, physical guys, and when they play good, solid, fundamental football, they're a wall. They're tough to deal with.
Yeah, some of it almost doesn't add up. The numbers that you see as far as what they give up, points-wise, yardage-wise, compared to some of the guys, just physically what you see on that side of the ball, it doesn't quite add up. Big 3rd down coming for that defense right now. 3rd and 4. Buckshot stands in, fires to Gandy Golden, makes a snag, now loses the football. It's on the turf, and they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. Gandy Golden tried to make a move before he'd secured the football, and not able to hang on to it.
Yeah, first and foremost, good job coming off the ball, but first and foremost, tuck it away. Yeah, just never really had a chance to put it into his body and tuck it away.
So on comes the field goal unit, and this is something of, I feel like we should just stop and kind of, take time to really enjoy this. Liberty has attempted and made the fewest field goals in the country this year. They've only made 4 field goals all season. They've only attempted 6, but Alex Probert on right now to try to boot one through. It's down, it's up, and it's good.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I feel like we've just witnessed a bit of history almost there, Maybe take that ball, pull it out, put it in a trophy case somewhere. So Liberty not able to put it in the end zone, but they do put points on the board after the turnover. And the Flames go on top 10-0 here in the first quarter. We talk about Liberty's season, and there's a look at what they've done on the year. First year as an FBS member. Had the big win to open things against Old Dominion way back when. And it has been an up-and-down campaign. You had the back-to-back games in the state of New Mexico that were both high-scoring affairs. And I think that's one thing, if you're looking for a trend there in what you see, there have been a lot of points this season, both given up by the Flames and scored by Liberty's offense a number of weeks as well. But, your first year in FBS, you kind of expect it to be a roller coaster ride in a lot of ways. And you get a look at Turner Gill there, Flames head coach in his 7th season. It has been an up and down, after at times frustrating season for him, but there have also certainly been some bright spots, like the win against Troy.
Yeah, I was going to say the win against Troy, and then you think sometimes defensively that as well as they played against Troy, that they were over the hump, that Liberty was over the hump and getting ready to play some really good defense, and then all of a sudden it swings the other way with a few of those games. So the consistency factor defensively is very important if you want to build a big-time FBS program.
Huntley takes it. Not a lot of running room as he's wrapped up, taken down at about the 16. So the Flames special teams unit has done a great job here on these two kickoffs here in the first quarter. And not great field position to start things for New Mexico State. An offense that's kind of trying to find its footing here against the Flames. And again, what we said, conditions they don't see a whole lot. But you have guys from all over the country that you recruit in here. You just look around here. Josh Atkins from down in Texas. You've got receivers from Colorado. So it's not like this is the first time these guys have ever stepped into weather like this before.
You could say, man, it's not their first rodeo.
Not their first rodeo. I could say that's a good way to put it.
Trying to put it together.
Atkins steps up in the pocket, has some time, hits a receiver crossing over the middle who's hit and dropped.
That's a tackle.
Jeremy Peters lets him know. That's Drew Dan on the reception, his second of the game, and that's what you've seen out of Jeremy Peters. He's a defensive back that'll hit you like a safety.
That's a tackle right there. You close on the ball, you explode your hips through the man, and you get him to the ground quick. Right there, boom, explode through. Got his hat across. Good safe tackle, like that play.
They're going to throw it again, and that's right to the Liberty defender. Picked off by Ajayi. He could take it the distance, and he does. Touchdown Flames. Solomon Ajayi looked like the intended receiver on that play, and he knew what to do with it once he made the snag.
Not sure what happened with Josh Atkins here. Receiver maybe made a mistake on the route, but there was nobody around.
There's not even a New Mexico receiver
in the picture.
The screen.
Had to have been a busted route. I think Atkins was expecting a receiver to be there, and nobody was there.
Well, after the play, the official telling us right now unsportsmanlike conduct.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
There you heard.
That is number 12's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
There you heard the tail end of that. Brandon Tillman flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct, and he'll be tacked on to the kickoff. But Solomon Ajayi, who has probably, you would say, been the best linebacker of that group for the Flames just throughout the season. Of course, we've told you before, brother of Jay Ajayi, running back for the Eagles. He came in with 63 tackles. That was his second interception. He had 8 tackles a week ago against Auburn. And another big play here in the early stages of this one as Liberty, this is the kind of start they wanted to see following what was just, was it a shutout for the first time in 100 and some games a week ago. You wanted to see some energy, some excitement, and they're getting that right now.
Yeah, they've come ready to play. And it's good for Solomon because you understand, since August in the heat, when you're out there doing all those pass drop drills, you got to get coaches, or you got to get to your zone, you got to get to that curl to flat. You're on your he's probably done it 5,000 times this year, and finally he gets one thrown to him, picked for a touchdown.
An extra point up and good, and it is all Flames thus far. Liberty taking advantage of New Mexico State mistakes. Solomon Ajayi, the latest recipient, and a pick 6 for Liberty puts them on top.
Have you seen some keys? Oh, thanks, sir.
You wore number 7. He wore number 7. He even used digital check-in to pick room 107. And somehow they still lost. Guess by how many? For the best price guaranteed, book at Hampton.com. Hampton by Hilton.
Jerry's Jokers in the stands here today. The students all mostly home for the holiday weekend.
Not those jokers.
Not those jokers.
Those
They're
are the
locked
real
in.
jokers. Dialed in.
That's right. And on a game where, because of weather and other factors, not a great crowd on hand, you kind of have to create your own energy.
That's right.
And Liberty's done that here in the early stages. You get a pick 6, you get a turnover. They have some energy in this stadium, even without a whole lot of folks in the seats, and they have an early 17-0 lead here in the first quarter. New Mexico State should get pretty decent field position out of this, though. The 15-yard penalty has Liberty kicking it off from the 20. That kick will be handled by Huntley, taking at his own 15. Trying to find some space, still on his feet. Now breaking it outside. He's got some room to rumble. The kicker, last man, they try to snag him, gets away. Still on his feet, angling back. He may take it the distance. Bajor Wilson trying to catch him, and he won't. Touchdown, Aggies. Jason Huntley with the answer.
That was a fantastic run by Huntley right there. Being able to avoid some tackles early on, bounce outside, make the kicker miss, cut back against the grain, take it all the way back across the field. What a play.
That was an 85-yard return on paper. That was about a 125-yard or 150-yard return in real life with the amount of ground he covered. Just when you're thinking, boy, can somebody spark this New Mexico State team? Jason Huntley says, I'm that dude.
Let's add special teams to keys to the game right now. The punt, drop, punt, and then this return for a touchdown. Wow.
So just like that, the Aggies have some life, and they do it with the special teams unit. Impressive return. Huntley is a weapon. He has now 3 kickoff return touchdowns on the season. Had 2 last year, so he's a weapon as far as that goes, but great job blocking it up, and then he needed to make a couple people miss, and did just enough.
What a great return. He reminds me, I bet that kid Huntley was unbelievable backyard football player.
Yeah, probably
back
so.
in the day, elementary school, nobody touched that kid. He cut that thing all over the barn right there.
And
impressive.
And if you want to kind of even think back to what added to that, you get the unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of the Flames touchdown on Brandon Tillman.
Right. Good point.
Backs it up, and I'm sure there's a coach down there somewhere letting Brandon know about it, but gives him a little extra space, because you remember the first 2 kickoff returns, he had no breathing room. They weren't even able to get it past the 20. He gets a little extra room there, and he makes Liberty pay. So now it'll be the Flames return unit on the field, trying to see what they can do.
Yeah, somebody from Liberty is going to go into halftime with a little less pants on their backside. From the chewing.
I don't know. Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah,
all right.
From the chewing they're getting right now from the coach.
Peyton Pickett back to return it. Line drive kick over his head. Will bounce on the goal line and go through the end zone. The Flames will get it at the 25. So now it's Liberty's turn to take the field.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for New Mexico State. Now you got to think that's going to energize the defense to be able to come out here, try to get a 3 and out, get the ball back to the offense. The offense, that's got to give energy to the offense. So this is exactly what New Mexico State needed in order to get back into this football game.
Torrey Matthews in the game now for Liberty. He motions out. 3 wide receivers to the right now. They hand it off. Hickson with some running room across the 30 up to the 32.
Matt, you look back, and I tell you the difference maker, Frankie Hickson, we talk about him getting close to 1,000 yards. You look back, it was the North Texas game. North Texas game after the rain delay, and they started getting blown up. Frankie Hickson never stopped competing.
You're right.
He never stopped competing. He's going on to have a great season.
I remember you talking about that when it happened. He has had really a breakout year for the Flames. 2 running backs in there right now. We're seeing Torrey Matthews. Haven't seen a lot of him since he returned in the UMass game. He fumbled on I think it was his first carry. Hasn't gotten a lot of action since then, but now motions out of the backfield. They're going to throw it out to Gandy Golden. Good job closing on that one, the defensive back, Ray Buford. As he said, I've seen this a time or two already today. Didn't give AGG quite as much space. Was able to knock it away.
Yeah, a little surprise there. What New Mexico State did is they gave what's called a cover 2 look, where that corner is going to squat and have a safety over top of him. A lot of times what AGG and Buckshot would do right there is do what's called a sight adjustment. Instead of running the hitch, he releases outside, runs a fade route, and then you try to put it right in the hole about 15 yards down the field.
3rd and 3 now. Hickson still in there. 4 wide receivers for the Flames. Buckshot looking, throwing to Gandy Golden, in and out of his hands. Right on the mark. Couldn't hang on to it. That's the 2nd drop we've seen from AGG here today, where it just feels like he's trying to do too much before he secures the football.
Yeah, a lot of times a good receiver like AGG, and you know, he's got the different gloves and whatnot. And don't worry about that AGG. The thing you do as a receiver, whenever you drop a football, it is a very natural instinct to panic, to tighten up. Instead, what you need to do is always focus on your eyes. Catch the football with your eyes. Over-exaggerate the catch with your eyes. Look it into the tuck. That gets you back on track after you've had a couple drops.
Aiden Alves to kick it away. End over end punt. Fair catch called for and taken at the 44-yard line by O.J. Clark. And pretty good field position now for New Mexico State, who has to feel like you get the big special teams play, you get a 3 and out. You got a little momentum now. You have some confidence building perhaps, although really this offense has yet to put anything together.
Well, the return for the touchdown energized the defense. They've done their job now. Now let's see if it energizes New Mexico State's offense.
Atkins brings the man in motion. They toss it to him. That's Royce Caldwell trying to turn the corner, has some running room, and picks up 5 yards on 1st down.
A well-designed play right there with a little, you know, almost like a jet sweep action, but then getting the crack back on the outside linebacker, opened it up for 4 or 5 yards.
That's Caldwell, who came in with 25 receptions on the year. Again, listed as a running back, but they get him involved in the passing game a lot. 2nd and 5 now. Bring it back through again. Now hand it off. Little running room up the middle. Closes quickly as Christian Gibson still trying to move the pile, but he'll be about 1.5 yards short of the 1st down. Gibson had a big game against Liberty the first time, 127 yards, a couple of scores, and really a back-breaking score late in that ball game when it looked like the Flames had him dead to rights, and he ended up getting free for 66 yards. So we'll see how much they incorporate him into this offense as we continue. 3rd down now for the Aggies. Give it to Gibson again, lunging forward, looks to be just shy.
He's short. He's ½ yard short. It's interesting to see what New Mexico State would do. I definitely think they would go for it right here. Since they have a little bit of momentum on their side, they want to keep that.
Yeah, decision time for Doug Martin in his 6th season at New Mexico State. Going to lead that offense on the field. 4th and about ½ yard to go. Atkins in the shotgun. Hand it off. Gibson going to have it and going to have more than that. Dragging a defender for about 8 or 9. As that was Elijah Benton finally getting him to the ground, but not before the Aggies able to move the chains.
Yeah, real nice running play right there by the Aggies. Being able to take the center and the guard, wash it down, bring the backup in, bounce back up inside, pick up the 1st down.
Atkins going to throw it. Good throw. I tell you what. You see how low throw, but he put it where only his receiver could get it.
Exactly.
No chance for the defender to get there as Jonathan Boone makes the snag.
A little quick RPO action. Now you're starting to see what New Mexico State was looking for. Dr. Mo is starting to move to their side.
Atkins swings it out again. That pass caught, but a knee was on the ground. O.J. Clark made the grab, but that knee on the ground and ends up being a loss on the play.
You know, you look a lot of times, Matt, and you see these horizontal type of plays, and a lot of this stuff doesn't work, but a lot of times what good offensive coordinators are doing is just trying to get the ball in space, see if they can make something happen, and then set it up for that deep vertical passing game.
Well, head coach Doug Martin, also the offensive coordinator. He's calling all the plays. See what he calls here on 2nd and 13. Atkins, flushed, steps up, hit, wrapped up, and he's going to be dropped. Juwan Wells, the first one there. Devin Pearson helping him clean it up. As we've seen Juwan Wells put together a nice game so far, and as I say that, he's down on the field and looks like he was grabbing at his knee. Training staff quickly rushing out there to tend to him, and Well, that would be a tough loss for that Liberty defensive line.
Yeah, hopefully he can shake that up. Big Juwan is really, shows signs of being a very, very good football player, the way that he can collapse a pocket with his size, his strength, and athleticism.
So we'll keep an eye on him as he heads to the tent there on the sideline to get looked at by the Liberty training staff.
This is the best way to squash some momentum, is get him into Liberty's got him into a 3rd and 20 roughly.
Swing it out, catch made, little running room, breaking it outside. Nice pickup. They're going to be short of the first down, but Royce Caldwell able to pick up a chunk of that yardage and at least give them some options here on 4th.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they want to do right here. It's at the 27-yard line, so they'll put you in the 40-plus field goal range. Looks like they've already made their decision, decided to go for it on 4th down. This right here is a big play in this football game early on.
Yeah, it'd be about a 45-yard field goal. Not much wind to speak of right now. Dylan Brown, Aggies kicker, has a long of 49 this season, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 6. Empty backfield. Here comes some pressure. Atkins stands in, lofts one. Miscommunication between he and his receiver, and nobody's home.
Yeah, like I said, a little miscommunication. Receiver pulled up on a curl route. Atkins threw the fade route. That is a big, big stop for Liberty. They get that first down right there, going and punching in. We have a 17-14 ball game now. Liberty gets that ball back and has a chance to do a little damage of their own.
Well, you're seeing this is the last game of the year for New Mexico State. A little bit surprising, some of the miscommunication, some of the things that have been out of sync. Yeah. The interception to Ajayi, or he and his receiver kind of not on the same page there. Then you see it again here on that 4th down play. You kind of hope that's kind of behind you when you get to this stage of the year.
Right, a little out of sorts this late in the season is not what the coaches like.
So the Flames will take over at their own 27. Calvert looking and finding B.J. Farrow, quickly wrapped up and dropped by Buford. Farrow's first reception of the ball game.
Well, Liberty's really making a commitment to throwing the hitch route. I really believe they want to pick up that 5 yards on 1st down, and then it's setting up for something bigger.
I was going to say, are they
setting up for something bigger? You see how close that New Mexico State defensive back is there. They're jumping those routes, so eventually you're going to see them take a shot over top.
Sling it. That one's picked off. Picked off by the Aggies this time. He could take it the distance. Inside the 5. Touchdown, New Mexico State, Javon Ferguson.
Really nice play by Javon Ferguson to be able to cut under that ball, intercept it, and then take it to the house.
Their leading tackler, a junior out of Baton Rouge, able to get his hands on it and then take it the distance.
Yeah, see, that's just an RPO play. And then Javon really pulled up in there like he's going to come up and take the run, and then bailed out to the last second, sort of fooled Buckshot. Buckshot delivers it right into his hands. And now this thing has gone a little crazy here, Matt.
We've got a ball game. Extra point up and good, and that was eerily similar to the pick 6 against Auburn a week ago for Buckshot. Right. Same situation, linebacker just kind of sneaking underneath, able to snag it. And just like a week ago, pick 6 going against the Flames. And yeah, just a 3-point ball game now.
See, those are where, and I like to sit down and talk with offensive coordinator Joe Daly, other RPO type of coaches. Become such an important part of such a big part of team's offense. Is what the downside of that is. There's only one option. If you pull the ball and there's only one route. So if it's not there, if Buckshot was to see that guy pull out, he's only got one route there. So now you have nowhere else to go with the football. So you'd like to be able to see a potential option where you can swing it to somebody out in the flat, whatever it may be. But those RPOs, you're limited on the options that you give, and sometimes you get fooled, it can cause major problems.
Oh, what a turn of events here. It's been we expected a shootout, but really the points have been coming not by way of the offenses. We've got a couple of defensive scores. We've got a special team score.
Keeps it exciting. All the folks back in, what's the name of that city?
Las Cruces. Yeah,
like
it's beautiful this time. 70 degrees. I'd take that right about now, no doubt about it. Low line drive kick. That's going to be taken and dropped. That Kentori Matthews back there getting it. Now he gets up, scampers forward, and dives down to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, New Mexico State has to really feel energized right now. You're watching their defense. They got a little pep in their step, a little extra Thanksgiving turkey trot coming out onto that field, and they're ready to play some football. So we'll see how Liberty responds.
And that's the thing, when you throw a pick six like that, you have to be able to turn the page fast because you're coming right back out there.
And this goes back to Buckshot's confidence. You know, he's had this issue here over the last couple of games with throwing interceptions. So can Buckshot shake it off and be able to lead his team back down the field?
Flames going to go back to the ground game, hand it to Frankie Hickson. He's able to pick up 3 on first down as clock ticks down towards the end of the first quarter, and that may be the last play of the first quarter if the Flames want it to be.
That's the guy you go to. Frankie Hickson, when things are down a little bit, that's your leader right now on the offense. Frankie Hickson's guy is going to pull you out of trouble.
We'll see if the Flames get a playoff here. Just 3 seconds, 2-1, and they will not get a playoff here to end the first quarter.
That's
so with that,
of the first quarter.
you got a wild one brewing. There was a wild one earlier this season.
Yeah, this is fun.
Nothing different here today. The defenses making their presence known here. A couple of pick sixes have us in a tight ball game in Lynchburg.
There you go, Richard. Oh, is that too hard for you?
No. Is it too hard for you?
Woo! We're playing catch now. Sorry.
Morning. Welcome to Mitsubishi. Interested in a test drive?
Yeah.
Can you check out the stereo?
Introducing the 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. If you like sculpted lines, you'll love its dynamic design. In a world of asphalt, gravel, and snow, Super All-Wheel Control will save the day. With a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, the Eclipse Cross is a must-see. Now showing at a dealership near you.
What?
Test drive a new crossover at your local Mitsubishi dealer.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
And this one making an impact in a negative way. Both quarterbacks have been pick six so far. We did mention, though, Antonio Gandy Golden and just how we would need him to step up for Flames fans, to step up in this game and to make an impact. And it started off really well for him. Things were looking solid, and then it kind of started to fall apart a little bit. So Jekyll and Hyde day for him.
Yeah, we talked about him. He's a really key player for Liberty. Look, players got to play, ballers got to ball. You go to your key players. By my count, he's got 3 receptions, including the touchdown, which is great, but he's also got 3 drops.
Listen, it's easy to kind of blame the weather on the performance that's happening here. As a receiver, I've had a fair share of drops in the rain.
No excuse.
When it comes down to it, it's got to be you're the number 1 receiver on the team. You've got to make these plays.
Well, in that one play, it looked like he had full possession of it. I know they didn't call it a fumble, but it almost looked like, he had it, and then he dropped it. So it'll be interesting to watch him. Will he stick with the gloves? I don't know. Matt and Joe, do you have a thought on this?
He took it off. Yeah.
Well, I took off the gloves, so I can tell you that. As Frankie Hickson gets loose, gloves or not, he's having a nice day. Rumbles across the 50-yard line and continues down the near sideline before he's bumped out of bounds around the 30. So Frankie Hickson, he had a nice run against Auburn a week ago, one of the only bright spots offensively for the Flames, and he breaks off a nice chunk of yardage here to start the second quarter. And now a flag dropped back behind the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 30. 10-yard penalty. Still. Second down.
And it's all for naught. Michael Bollinger, the fullback, called for a hold, and so that'll bring it all back.
Yeah, we said to get Frankie really involved in the game. He breaks off a great run, and to be able to get a holding call right there, that really hurts the Flames. That was a really, really nice by Frankie. We bobbing and threw in there and being able to get that far downfield. This penalty is going to cost him potentially.
So wipes a big play off the board. Second down for Liberty. They give it to Peyton Pickett this time. He's able to get a couple, but it's going to bring up 3rd and short. We introduced you to Bobby a little bit earlier in the ball game. Let's check in with her once again. Bobby, what's going on?
Well, Matt, the best thing I think for Buckshot as he's struggling right now is he has an offensive coordinator who's played the position. Joe Daly told me this week that he's been that guy. He knows what it feels like to throw an interception and have to fight his way in adversity. But he said that's why so much the last few weeks we have worked on not just X's and O's, but so much the mental work. Joe Daly says he emphasizes to his guys every week that if you want to be a great quarterback, you got to realize there's going to be failure. But the ones you see play on Sundays are the guys that find a way to get through it.
Yeah, we'll see if Buckshot can continue to fight his way through it here today. Liberty just does convert on 3rd down. Peyton Pickett able to get the necessary yardage. But yeah, I mean, you have to be, as a quarterback, a little gun shy almost when you've had as many interceptions as Buckshot has had here lately. And, you know, compared to a year ago where he did a great job protecting the football, this has been a completely different season. Little pump fake, Buckshot looking downfield, looking for Gandy. Golden goes up and makes the grab. Well, he may have dropped a couple easy ones, but in a crowd, he goes up and makes the play, and yet there's another flag down in the backfield.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So once again, a big play negated. Did we see another flag come in there late?
Unsportsman.
Also, after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 74. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still, first down. That is number 74's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Well, that's Julio Lozano, the senior left tackle for Liberty. I saw it. What did you see what he did after the play?
Yeah, I just saw him
talking a little bit,
on
maybe.
the record, and just voicing his frustration.
You see what was called for a hold there. As
I didn't see much right there.
I didn't
Matt.
either,
The guy
honestly.
slipped, and I can see his frustration. But the bottom line remains is you have to let the refs ref the game, and you have to play the game. All you're doing is getting frustrated, getting upset, which is understandable right there, but you can't let it compound itself into another penalty. Now Liberty's really far behind in the chains.
Buckshot slings it out. Catch made up top. That is the tight end, Jerome Jackson, with his first collegiate catch. Flames been really dinged up at the tight end position. Zach Fouts out. Fidelio Bafin has been injured a lot this year. So Jackson, young man out of Fort Worth, Texas, able to make the snag. Brings up 2nd and 18. Buckshot rolling out, looking downfield. Is that pass caught by Stubbs? Oh, what a grab. A man on his back. And they're jawing a little bit on the sideline now as Stubbs is able to make a fantastic catch along the sideline.
As good a catch as that was for DJ Stubbs, it was even a better throw for Buckshot. He was on a full sprint out, and for him to be able to put that ball in that tight window right there with the guy in his face, great throw, great catch. That could be what gives Liberty
Ruling on the
momentum.
field is a catch. The previous play is under review.
Well, there you heard it. They're going to take a look. Flames have had a couple of plays wiped out due to penalties on this drive, hoping they don't get one wiped out due to a review.
Ruling on the field is a catch for a first down. The previous play is under review.
All right, so they'll take a look at it. We'll take one as well. Your gut feeling on that one, Joe? Did you see anything that...
Gut feeling is he caught it. He caught it definitely. Did he get that foot down? Ball is secured right there. That's catch.
Unless something happened on the end of that play, the ball coming out or it bobbling or moving, I didn't see anything like that.
Oh, no, that's a catch. Drag the foot right there.
Yeah,
ball secured.
That's a catch.
It's a quick one. Even Rhett McGibbon say this is a quick one.
Rhett McGibbon and the boys, they're back in the...
they're warm in the
they're
studio.
warm. Brett's probably made 3 or 4 trips to the Keurig machine by now. He's...
Bobby's braving the elements
Bobby
down there.
She's the toughest one of the group today. She's out there in the cold.
She's always the toughest one. It's not even close. She's a competitor. Minnesota, from Minnesota. They compete in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is like a spring day up where she's from.
Beautiful.
So the officials continue to look at it. We told you Stubbs had a big day the first time these two teams met. Been kind of quiet thus far here today.
But you know, Matt, exactly what Bobby brought up on the sidelines, and that is you're talking about Buckshot.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Talking about Buckshot and him being able to turn the page after interception. Well, that applies. That's the leadership part of it as a quarterback. You have to be able to do that. That carries over to the rest of your team. An offensive lineman who takes a holding penalty, it may not have been a holding, and then shows frustration and sportsmanlike conduct. You have to be able to make plays and be able to turn the page. Stay in the moment. Just play the game in the moment. You can't do anything about the past. You don't control the future. All you have is the moment. Stay in the moment.
So first down after that fantastic grab by Stubbs. They're going to hand it off to Pickett now, who's able to pick up maybe 2 before he's wrapped up. Held up. Miles Bean, one of the guys in there making the play. And you feel it getting a little chippy down there, don't you, Joe?
Same thing.
I mean, what is they? Familiarity breeds contempt. Isn't that what they say? Second time around between these two.
I like when it gets a little chippy, a little spice.
Nothing wrong with that. Short run makes it 2nd and 8 as Frankie Hickson comes back into the ball game. Buckshot swinging it out to Stubbs, makes the grab, then trips and falls down. Not able to pick up much there, although a flag's down on the play. And
I think another holding call on that.
Looked like Tristan Schultz there kind of walking away in disgust. This one may go against him. Well, we await the call.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, that's Schultz. Sophomore out of Indiana. And Liberty, I'll tell you, penalties have not been an issue for the Flames. They entered today with the 3rd fewest penalties in the nation.
Right.
So they have done a great job in that regard. And honestly, when a team's making a move up to the FBS level, you'd almost expect penalties to go up, wouldn't you? I mean, you're playing, higher level of opponents, better athletes. But it hasn't been the case for Liberty. They've done a great job in that regard this year. Although today there have been some big penalties that have gone against them. Hickson trying to cut it back. Not a lot of room to run, just lowers the shoulder and is able to make something out of nothing there and get 3 or 4 yards.
I know Coach Aaron Stamm, who's a very, very good football coach. He's going to gather these guys over on the sidelines, say, guys, we got to get it together. None of the bad holding penalties, none of the unsportsmanlike penalties. Just get out there, do your assignment, and compete.
Brings up 3rd and 12 now for Liberty. 4 wide receivers out. Calvert stands in the pocket, face a little pressure, climbs now pulls it down, still on his feet, trying to make something out of it, and ends up getting maybe a yard or 2, but that's about it. So the Flames come up empty on 3rd down, will be forced to punt it away.
They did everything, Liberty did everything they could to try to overcome a lot of bad things that happened on that drive, but it was just too much for them. And now they have to punt it away, like you said.
Mexico State, they'll put some pressure on the quarterback. They did so in the first meeting between these two. They sacked Buckshot 5 times on that day. They brought some heat on that 3rd and long, and now Aiden Alvis in to see if he can try to pin the Aggies deep.
Looks like they're coming after it. Nope.
Alvis gets the foot into it. Fair catch called for and taken at the 22-yard line by O.J. Clark. And the Aggies now will take the field, trailing by 3, but with a chance take the lead in this one. Wild ball game thus far, a lot of football still left to be played.
Rated M for mature.
You don't know anything about fear. You are just like me.
Let's see about that.
I am the fear behind my name, smoking like the enforcer of every rule. I now broken like that information ain't sweet.
They want to bring the thunder. Let's bring it.
Just Cause 4, available now.
Back in Lynchburg, tight ball game here in the 2nd quarter between Liberty and New Mexico State.
Matt, you know what song I think the band was playing?
What was it?
It was the Sheryl Crow, I Want to Soak Up the Sun.
We would all like to soak up a little sun.
Right about now. A lot of sun right now.
Overcast.
Overcast.
It was rainy. It's cold.
It's a song that makes you feel good.
Well,
it's all rainy and overcast.
Glad it's helping you. Yeah. Aggies back out there. First down play. Hand it off. Little running room up the middle. And a nice pickup on 1st down as Christian Gibson taking the carry. Gibson actually came to New Mexico State as a defensive back and played that his freshman season. Yeah. Last year, just 4 carries at the running back position. And has really broken out this year, over 90 carries. And did a great job against Liberty, as we mentioned, the first time these two teams met.
Man, he's got some guns on him. Did you see that? His arms are huge.
Little fly sweep, trying to get the edge, and may not do it. Race to the sideline, and Jason Huntley just says, you know what, I'm just going to bow out on this one. Liberty read it perfectly. That was, I think it was Isaac Steele out there, the safety coming up, able to take that play away, and a big loss on 2nd down.
I really feel New Mexico State needs to go more to that power run game with Gibson, etc. And they're doing a lot of horizontal things right now, and it's not taking them very far. It's time to run the ball, get it up the middle, try to hit some of those chunk yardage plays through the run game. Put themselves in a position to have to throw it now.
3rd and 13. Atkins climbs in the pocket, has a receiver, throws it behind him. Great catch made, trying to get free. That was O.J. Howard, or O.J. Clark rather, who's going to come up a couple of yards shy of the first down.
See, but that's how you win football games right there, Matt, if you're Liberty. Guy makes a catch, he's at 10, 11 yards, he needs to pick up 13. Defensive backs there, boom, get him on the ground right now. Make them punt. That's a really, really good tackle.
Nice snag there by Clark, but yeah, you're exactly right. Able to wrap up, get him down with Corbin Jackson, and now it's going to be a punting situation.
Those are the big plays right there that change games.
Aiden Theisler fielding the ground ball. Slings it over to first. And it'll roll and settle down at about the 39. Well, it's been an adventure on the punting team here so far today for New Mexico State. Fortunate to get that one away cleanly. And still a 3-point lead for the Flames.
At T-Mobile, we believe in going big for the holidays. Get unlimited with a new Samsung Galaxy S9 included for just $40 a month.
Seriously?
Seriously.
No!
It doesn't get much better than this. Get unlimited with a new Samsung Galaxy S9 included for just $40 a month.
Spider-Verse is the best movie of the year.
Wait a second, what did you just say?
Spider-Verse is the best movie of the year.
Very cool.
And it's 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, shouldn't it be 100?
It's just really frustrating.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, rated PG.
Liberty offense taking over here with a 3-point lead. Little end around to Kentori Matthews, who's tripped up and falls across the 40. Short pickup. Kentori started the year, as I mentioned, really well. He's still averaging over 6.5 yards per carry on the season and a couple of 50-plus yard runs in the first 2 ball games. But since his injury that he suffered against North Texas, has really kind of been phased out of the offense. They may try to see if they can work him in here as he remains in the ball game.
Kentori Matthews is a good football player. To get him going really helps Liberty.
He's a big play guy, not a big back, but he is explosive. They give it to him here. Able to shed a tackle, stay on his feet somehow, and kind of lunge forward there for a nice pickup of about 7. So he's not a big guy, but he's shifty, tough to get to the ground.
Wiggly.
Wiggly?
Yeah, he's got a little wiggly in him.
He's got a little, okay, well.
Wiggly, gets down low, and then he wiggles up, and then he's back on his feet like a cat. He always lands on his feet.
I tell you this, he gives a good haircut. He's the team
Yeah,
barber.
oh, yeah.
He does a nice job. 3rd and 3 now for Liberty as they're going to change the play there at the line. Buckshot looking to the sideline. Play clock at 10, still plenty of time. Buckshot, little pump, looking downfield. He's going to let it fly, looking for B.J. Farrow, and just off his fingertips. Looking for Farrow down the far sideline, and not quite able to bring it in.
Yeah, just not quite able to bring it in, but I like that. That's what we were talking about earlier, how they've been trying to hit the hitch play. They've ran 4, 5, 6 hitches, a couple to AGG, some to BJ, and now it's time to take some shots downfield. So I like how Joe Daly's trying to mix things up.
Marcus Owens, the senior out of McKinney, Texas, on the coverage.
That was a good throw. Just a good coverage, like you said, really good coverage.
So the Flames forced to punt it away. Aiden Alvis fields it. Fair catch called for and taken at about the 26-yard line.
Good to see Aiden Alvis improving, isn't it, man? He's really had his struggles early in the season. Now he's starting to bring himself back around and been hitting some more consistent punts.
Absolutely. Really since about that Troy game, he's been a lot better, a lot more consistent, as you've said. And Flames have had, just special teams in general. The kickers, Alex Probert, who was their starter all last year, injured.
Yeah.
And so you're putting Aaron Pierre in there for a while, and then Alvis first year on the job. They've kind of had to figure some things out there, but have steadily improved. Atkins, time in the pocket. And that one deflected as he was trying to swing it out to Jason Huntley. I think that was Juwan Wells, which number 1, good to see him out on the field again. He was able to get a big paw on it and knock it to the turf.
Juwan Wells is a big man, like you say. He does have some big paws on him to be able to not get that hand up. You see a lot more of that nowadays. The defensive linemen batting down balls.
Well, as quick as quarterbacks are getting rid of the football, you better be able to do that. There's a completion. That'll be right around the first down as he connects with Jonathan Boone. And it looks like they're going to say it is enough, and it's a first down for the Aggies, so they move the chains.
Really like Jonathan Boone as a football player. He's a long, sort of lanky guy. He's got a nice stride to him, good hands, makes good plays.
Handoff up the middle. That's Gibson getting the carry and going nowhere as the interior of that defensive line able to stand tall.
I think this is the important part of the game on both sides, from Liberty's perspective and from New Mexico State's perspective, and that is to be able to, if New Mexico State can run the football up the middle, hit some of those chunk yardage plays, it's only going to open up other things for them right now. Right now, this seems like they're not running the ball well, and they're a little bit limited with just the pass.
Whistle blows this one dead. Flag comes in.
Procedure.
Ball start. Offense. Number 2. 5-yard penalty. Still. Second down.
O.J. Clark, the guilty party. Back him up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 15. Just feel like these offenses today haven't been able to get into a rhythm. Kind of disjointed. You've seen some uncharacteristic mistakes. Empty backfield. Atkins has plenty of time, climbs in the pocket. Now had a receiver, threw it behind him. Nice shot there, Bajor Wilson getting a hand on it, but that ball was well behind the intended receiver.
Yeah, there's a Liberty's very, very fortunate right there. Atkins be able to step up into the pocket. He had him on the move. He's able to catch that ball because they're in man-to-man coverage. If that ball was thrown on the target, would have been able to turn upfield and turn that into a long game.
Yeah, that was Boone again getting open, but not a great pass. The Flames dodge a bullet. So 3rd and 15, 5 wide receivers for the Aggies. Flames bring 4, they swing it out, and just a little too tall for Huntley. 5'9" running back trying to go up and get it. Couldn't quite bring it in, and we'll have another punting situation.
You know, not a big fan of those calls, that horizontal pass on a 3rd and 15. If you're going to run a play like that, take the wide receiver on the outside, take an inside slot, block him, and bring that tunnel screen look where you get a guy catches the ball and at least his shoulders are square and he's moving upfield, breaks a tackle and can pick it up. But just the bubble horizontal, I'm just not a big fan of that on a 3rd and long.
Peyton Deisler in there. He's had some adventures back there today, but gets away a good one. Spiraling kick snagged by DJ Stubbs. Trying to turn it up now, but cut down and not much of a return for Stubbs. So the best punt of the day. We'll have the Flames starting with the football on their own 26. So 5:39 to go here in the first half. This Flames offense trying to get something going. They lead it by 3 on a cold day in Lynchburg.
On a shocking season finale of Fansville.
National championship trophy's been stolen, and everyone's a suspect.
Who would steal the trophy?
You'd have to be a big fan.
You think I did it?
Which one of you took it?
You like your Dr. Pepper, don't you?
Yeah. Give me a name.
Julie, are you sure you didn't take it?
Are you wearing a wire? Are you wearing a wire?
Talk to my guy on the inside. He's your ticket, man.
Hello, Sharon.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Football's been a big part of my life. My grandfather was a famous coach. Dependability and honesty, those are things that carry over very strongly between the military and football. And that's one reason why I love USA so much, is because they've been 100% dependable.
Liberty leads it by 3 here against New Mexico State. There's a look at Liberty's helmet today. Special logo there. It's Military Appreciation Day here for the Flames. They do it once a year. This year going with that camo look for the logo. They'll have a big presentation at the half as well as Kentori Matthews. Wiggly, as Joe Yock would say, able to wiggle out of a tackle there and pick up nice yardage on first down. He'll get 9.
You got to get some offensive momentum going on both sides here, Matt.
They give it to Kentori again. This time, not a whole lot of wiggle room, as he's going to be right near that first down marker. Penalties. You have to talk about that offensive momentum for Liberty. They had some things working there a couple of possessions ago, and penalties really killed that. 4 penalties in the second quarter for Liberty.
Yeah,
a couple of big ones took away some big plays down the field.
Right, the catch by AGG was the big one.
So first down now as Flames just able to pick up enough. They keep it on the ground. Matthews again trying to find some room to run. Not much there as he is wrapped up and drugged backwards for no gain.
I know we talked about it earlier, but once again, when New Mexico State plays fundamental football on the defensive line, that defensive line is stout.
Yeah.
I mean, they are stout. They have some men in there.
Liberty averaging under 4.5 yards per carry, which for this New Mexico State defense, that's pretty good. They've struggled in that regard, stopping people on the ground this season. 2nd and 9 now for Liberty. They're going to hand it off again. Oh, good job coming from the backside there and getting him to the ground. That's number 89, Jackson Solbeck, making the play.
Real nice play by Jackson. Liberty is making a commitment, which I really like, to try to run the football up the middle, but left Jackson unblocked right there, and he came down the line, like you said, made a great tackle, puts Liberty into a 3rd and long.
4 wide receivers out for the Flames. Frankie Hickson standing next to Buckshot in the backfield. Calvert gonna give it to Hickson, has some blockers in front of him, has some room, and is able to pick up the first down. So nice job. The Flames don't throw to the running backs a ton, but great play call there on 3rd and long, and they're able to move the sticks.
Yeah, it's a well-designed play. Be able to get the offensive lineman. They build like a wall to the outside and be able to shield back inside with their blocks, dump the ball off to Frankie, turn their shoulders upfield, 1st down Liberty.
So the Flames, if they play this right, love to be able to go down and score right at the end of the half and finish it off that way. Buckshot looking deep downfield, looking for Gandy Golden, throwing it up in traffic, and a flag comes in. Gandy Golden fighting and scrapping down there with the safety, Ron LaForce.
Pass interference, defense, number 23, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
The thing about that play right there is you'll see right here, Matt, Ron, he did not need to really, he did a good job. He didn't bite on the play, but right here he goes up into him. He didn't need to do that. Just get hip to hip, turn up, reach your hand up, and make a play and bat down the ball. He ducked his head in there and forced himself into Gandy Golden. That's an easy pass interference call.
Calvert slings it out to AGG again, quickly taken to the turf by Ray Buford for a short pickup on 1st down as the clock ticks its way down towards 3 minutes to go.
Matt, they are bound and determined they are going to throw hitches to AGG today. That's probably the 6th or 7th one they've thrown his way.
Yeah, 4 receptions now for AGG. Calvert again going to throw it. Stands in the pocket, throws out wide. Gandy Golden trying to get the foot down, could not. That ball led him just a little bit too far as he tried to get that right foot down and bounds, wasn't able to do it.
Let's see the replay on that. That was really close. Liberty did a really good job up front picking up the blitz. They tried to, New Mexico State tried to bring pressure. Let's take a look here.
See that right foot? I think it was the first to hit. Boy, that's hard to see his heel there. That's the question.
This angle, you'll see it.
Liberty's taking their time to sign if they. Yep, you're exactly right.
Yep,
there it was.
Good call.
Yep, right on top of it. Made the right call. So the Flames now have a 3rd and 5 from the 31. Calvert trying to set up a screen, and oh boy, did that close in a hurry. There's your guy, Terrell Hanks, letting BJ Farrow know, the kid that's heading to the Senior Bowl. Put a big blow there on the senior receiver for the Flames.
And that's why they like him, his ability to close on the ball in space and shut things down. That's a NFL type of tackle right there. It just explodes through him.
So a long field goal attempt now for Liberty. This will be a 51-yarder for Alex Probert. His long a year ago was 49. His long this year in limited action, 37. Snap is down. The kick is up. Has the distance. And it's good.
Whoa, what a
Alex
kick.
Probert showing some range.
Good to see Alex healthy again and kicking well. Having confidence to make a 51-yard field goal like that right down the pipe.
Young man out of Andover, Minnesota. Surprised he's not in the short sleeves today.
No question. What do you get the long sleeves on for? You're Minnesota.
He's one of the first guys out there, though. Yeah, you know, what would she say?
Soft.
Yeah. He was one of the first guys out here, though, when we came to the field. It was dumping rain at that point, freezing cold, and he was out there all by himself, kicking some field goals, kind of getting used to these conditions, and all that work paying off there on that 51-yarder.
Guys like that, ice fish in shorts and a T-shirt.
You ever gone ice fishing?
Yes, I've gone ice fishing. Spent a lot of years up in Canada.
I hear it's a good time.
Oh, it's a real good time. Especially when you're in one of those big warm tents.
Yeah.
Those always help.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's a little
in your shorts and T-shirt.
Yeah, that's nice. So the Flames put some points on the board here. Still some time on the clock. 2:06 to go. All 3 timeouts for New Mexico State, so they're going to have an opportunity here before the half. As Probert set to kick it away. Squibbs one, pops up, is taken around the 25. Not much of a return there as that's Christian Gibson running into his own man around the 28 or so. So Liberty not giving them an opportunity for a big kickoff return after they got burned by Huntley earlier in the ball game. So 1:59 to go in the half as this Aggies offense takes the field. And Aggies offense has only 82 total yards in the first half.
Yeah, usually you expect to see a sort of gunslinging show by the Aggies, and they've struggled a little bit, but you also get that feeling that they can explode at any moment.
Atkins going to keep it, looking downfield. Now tries to sling out wide, didn't have the arm to get there as he was being pressured by Jesse Lemonnier.
Yeah, you're really seeing what Liberty does right now, and they're doing a good job as they're playing a zone defense behind them. They're getting some pressure on Atkins, not having to bring 5, 6 guys and play man-to-man. So when you can just rush the 4 and be able to get pressure on the quarterback, cover on the back end, it makes it really, really difficult.
Atkins looking down the middle of the field, throwing it up and missing his intended target. I think that was Caldwell there. And just like that, it's 3rd and 10. And now if you're on the Liberty side of things, you're saying, well, listen, we got 3 timeouts too. We might be able to get the ball back here with some time to do some damage.
Yeah, this is a big stop for Liberty. Also potentially a big 3rd down conversion for the Aggies. If they could get something going here, they really, really need to get some type of momentum going in before halftime. Big down.
5 wide receivers. Empty set for the Aggies. Atkins climbing in the pocket, has a receiver underneath, hits him, wrapped up, dropped, and looks like he'll be short. Solomon Ajayi able to make the tackle as Drew Dan looks to be about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Once again, the ability to get bodies on the ground, get receivers on the ground once they make the catch. Solomon with a fantastic tackle that keeps him a yard short, forces him in. Looks like they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. The clock continues to run. They haven't used a timeout, but 4th and 1, they're going to go. The handoff. Nope, keeps it. Lunging forward. I don't know. It's going to be close.
He didn't get it.
Josh Atkins kept the football. Tried to follow his back Gibson up the middle, and I'm not so sure he got there.
And what does that go back to? To stop the tackle on 3rd down.
Officials timeout for measurement.
It's that close. They're going to measure it as you get another look, and that was Elijah Benton coming down from his strong safety position, getting in there. They got some help from other folks. When you're in there, and basically the play's been blown dead at that point, you're just getting thrown around like a rag doll. You saw Atkins just trying to hang on and survive the end of that thing.
Hey, he doesn't have this, Matt. You remember earlier in the season, they call me Eagle Eye Joe. This one isn't even close. Look at that.
How about that?
Eagle Eye, that was never in doubt.
Big play for this Liberty defense and a big gamble that could potentially backfire for New Mexico State as they've handed the Flames fantastic field position.
You know, in all honesty, I'm a little surprised that New Mexico State, when it was a long 4th and 1, and the ball's on their side of the field, being able to turn the ball back over to Liberty right before half, giving the opportunity to score points. You're only down 6 points. Go into the locker room, down 6. Instead, now Liberty's got the ball with a chance to score.
So 1:07 to go. Flames with all of their timeouts. Calvert, little sprint action draw there to Frankie Hickson. Haven't seen that play very much this season, and that might be why. Only goes for a couple.
Got to pick up the pace. If you're not going to use your timeouts, you got to pick up the pace right now.
Yeah, all 3 timeouts. So this clock continues to run. Liberty looking downfield. Calvert climbs the pocket. Low throw. Oh, what a grab by Gandy Golden. Went down, caught that one around his ankles. as that'll move the chains, and the Flames now are going to take a timeout.
Like you said, what a fantastic catch by Gandy Golden.
Timeout. Liberty, their first timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 41 seconds. 4-1.
The drops that plagued AGG early in this ball game, he's kind of making up for him here. Last couple of plays he's made. Look at that catch.
Yeah, that catch will build your confidence back up. Those are all the low ball drills you do during practice, during two-a-days, where catch the ball high, catch the ball to the side, catch the ball low. You do all those low ball drills, and they pay their dividends right now. But like you said, it's really good for AGG's confidence right now after a few drops. Turn the page, forget what's behind, press on towards what's ahead, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment, be able to do that and dig that ball off the turf and make a catch, convert for a first down. Is big for him.
Well, AGD was dancing there on the sideline, so he must have put it behind him, it would appear.
It doesn't take a guy like him long.
Nah, he's a good kid, has a lot of fun out there on the football field, and when you do the things he can do athletically, I think pretty easy to have fun.
No shortage of confidence.
No,
he's got no shortage of confidence.
So first down, 41 seconds to go before the half. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Calvert checks the sideline. Pressured, taken down. The defense got to him, and that's Cedric Wilcox who was there to wrap him up and drop him to the turf. Wilcox with 7 sacks now to lead the Aggies. The guy that was a first-team All-Sun Belt performer a year ago.
Their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 34 seconds. 3-4.
You know how they say, Matt, the secondary is the one who really got that sack? That is what happened. There's a coverage sack right there. They had New Mexico State had 7 guys in the box. They brought 6 of them and were able to cover downfield, which allowed them to get to the quarterback and make that sack. That's a defensive backfield sack right there.
Wilcox, junior out of Dallas, 8.5 sacks last season. Now with 7 this year, and one of those guys, we talk about some of the playmakers they have on the defensive side of the ball. Terrell Hanks, Cedric Wilcox is certainly one of those.
Yeah, Wilcox, he's a good pass rusher. Maybe he gets upfield, he gets low. You watch him on film, he gets low, dips that shoulder down, is able to get to the quarterback. Really like the intensity that he plays with.
So 2nd and 18 now. The Flames backed up to the 31-yard line now. Calvert changed the play there at the line. Here comes some pressure. Flames pick it up. Calvert has plenty of time, looking downfield, thrown to the back of the end zone, and it's caught! B.J. Farrell goes up and gets it. The ability to pick up the blitz and give Buckshot enough time to stand in there pays off as Calvert's able to find his senior target, B.J. Farrell.
What Buckshot Calvert does a really good job, and you watch him game in and game out, he's able to step up in the pocket and use his footwork very well. Joe Daly just hammers that home every day in practice to be able to have great footwork to be a great quarterback. And it was his footwork right there, the ability to slide, stand up in the pocket.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
And then throw that ball to BJ's back shoulder. But once again, when you look at it on film over and over again, his footwork is what makes the difference for those throws.
Flames are going to go for 2 here. As Buckshot trying to throw one, little back shoulder deal to Farrow and made the grab. So they cash in on the 2-point conversion. And this was a 3-point ball game here not too long ago.
4th and 1, they went for it.
All of a sudden, you look up and Flames have doubled up the Aggies as we're about to head to the half here, 28-14.
Who gets the ball coming out of the half again? Is it Liberty?
New Mexico State will get it, so yeah.
Yeah, so that even surprises me more. If you're going 4th and 1, knowing that you can punt them down there and be down 6 before half and then get the ball coming out to start the second half. Good grab by BJ.
Great to see BJ Farrow. You know, he has 2 games, this and 1 more game left in his career here as a Flame. What a career it's been. Local kid.
Consistency. Consistency and productivity is what the trademark of who BJ Farrow is.
So he gets the Flames in the end zone. Big play before the half, and Liberty starts to put some distance between themselves and the Aggies. But if you've watched the almost game and a half this year between these two, I wouldn't change the channel just yet.
That's exactly right. these scores go up one way and come back. These two are, once again, like you said, very familiar with one another, and good football so far.
All loose on the turf, picked up on the 20-yard line. And he'll be tackled and dropped there. Royce Caldwell picking it up. Now you would imagine Mexico State will just take a knee in this one and take it to the half and try to regroup.
Yeah, right now the play of the game so far, well, there's been a lot of exciting plays with kick returns and interceptions for touchdowns and whatnot, but that 4th and 1 stop by Liberty in a 6-point ball game right now is the difference maker.
A touchdown pass a moment ago, by the way, from Buckshot Calvert ties Robbie Justino for the most career touchdown passes in Flames history. As nice run there, getting out of bounds was Jason Huntley. Calvert now with 64 touchdown passes in his career. Again, just a junior. And so with his next touchdown toss, he will be the all-time leader for the Flames.
Putting together a good career.
Absolutely. Mexico State going to run it again. Huntley, another nice little pickup, gets 8 or 9, and they're just going to let the clock run, and that'll do it here in the first half. A wild first half here in Lynchburg. We've had a couple of defensive scores. We've had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and a couple of big plays here in the final moments for this Flames offense, including this grab, buckshot to B.J. Farrow. The Flames doubling up the Aggies as we head to the break, 28-14.
When the game's over and you're exhausted from woo-hooing, there'll be greasy platters to grapple with, crusty bowls to do battle with, and filthy forks from friends afraid of finger food. But you can do this. You'll have the power of Maytag on your team. Now get out there and host your heart out. Maytag will see you on the other side.
Maytag, what's inside matters.
Hey there, welcome back to Williams Stadium. We're here at the half. A lot of people thinking this might be an offensive affair with Liberty losing the last one 49-41. The defense so far getting it done today. Just moments ago, Bobby Bullock caught up with head coach Turner Gill.
All right, Coach, talk about a momentum shift at the right time. How do you use it to your advantage going into the second half?
Well, I think we scored there in the end. That was huge for us. Defense is playing outstanding, so I'm proud of what they're playing. They got another half to play, though.
I was going to say, defensively, you guys have got all over Josh Atkins. They showed you guys last time that they scored 28 points in the second half. How do you continue to build on making him uncomfortable?
Well, I think we got to continue to have pressure. We got to have a 5 or 6 man pressure, and we got to continue to tackle well.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck the second half, guys.
Yeah, the defense has done extremely well so far in this game. They've been able to get pressure. Were you expecting this at all, kind of going over, the last couple games? UVA, not the greatest affair for the Flames, and then you go up against Auburn as well. You get stomped in that one, 53-0. A game in which, they put up 53. You don't think the defense was really that bad in that one. But especially the last game at New Mexico State, you give up 49. Personally, I wasn't thinking the defense was going to come in here and be the showstopper. It has been, but they've done it.
The defense is the story of the game so far. You're coming into this game where the defense have allowed 50 points 2 of the last 3 games, and right now so far they've given up no touchdown whatsoever. This is a defense that's allowed 511 yards per game this season and over 40 points. So I think it's remarkable how the defense has played so far.
Yeah, the defense this year has gone through the school of hard knocks. They've really had to turn it on. They know they got 2 games left, both at Williams Stadium, playing for a lot of pride. We talked about it in the open, playing for some recruiting, playing for some momentum going into next year, because your schedule doesn't get any easier when you're an FBS independent school. So this defense, again, has taken its lumps this year, playing really good, and I would expect it to still continue in the second half as long as this D-line keeps doing what they're doing, getting pressure, and then on the back end, the guys are just doing their job.
You have to think, Coach Wimberly is watching this effort from his team, thinking about next week and the second half, and he's like, can I please have some more? He just wants it to keep flowing. The guys seem to have the momentum right now. You know, what else do you see from the fact that they seem to be shutting down the passing game from New Mexico State as well?
Well, my thought really going through Robert Wimberly's head has to probably be what Evan Baxter from Bruce Almighty said, which was, I like a do the cha-cha. He's got to be so fired up with how these guys are playing. He is just doing incredible with how they're coming out to play. So Wimberly could not be more excited. I'm thinking right now they've given up 105 yards in the game at this point. They want to come back out in the second half and really have another repeat performance.
Guys, don't forget, a couple weeks ago, they switched him to the booth. He didn't want to go. Right. And remember, he had to eat a piece of humble pie from his wife, he said.
That's right.
And he did that. And he's actually, the defense has played well since he's moved to that booth.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, much more to talk about here as we continue to break things down. Stay with us. Lots more to come.
When a nasty cold won't let you sleep, try new NyQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool and vaporize it. New NyQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool, the vaporizing, nighttime coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep of the cold medicine.
Coach, that wasn't a very pretty first half. How are you going to get back in the game?
Toilet.
Ooh, thank you for your time.
Bleep, bleep.
14 the score here. You see the American flag on the board. Military Appreciation Week here at the football game as well. You saw the stickers there on the side of the helmet, the Digi Camo. Always a fun week when we get to appreciate our military. Also kind of fun here in between things, you know, Joe Yock talking about the sleeves. We were talking about it. And pro sleeve or against sleeve? I'm guessing a no, a yes, and a no.
Dude, man, it's a hard no on sleeves, man. Hard no. If an offensive lineman's wearing sleeves, I question your toughness.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't think either team has an offensive lineman wearing sleeves today. So kudos to them, even though New Mexico State's coming from a place where it doesn't get this cold and it doesn't rain this much at all.
I'm sure Joe Yock has sleeves on right now.
Oh, you know he does.
Now that we're calling him out like Pat was saying, he's probably ripping them off.
Yeah, first of all of you guys are wearing sleeves. And in my experience, wearing sleeves never impacted my ability to catch or not catch the ball. So I would wear sleeves if I needed to.
All right, let's break down this game now. New Mexico State has yet to score an offensive touchdown on the day. One from specialty teams, one from their defense. It's you're not going to win many games if you like. It looks good if you can get the offensive game going, but right now the only 2 touchdowns you get, it's not too good.
Well, specialty teams or special teams, but yeah, this play was an incredible play to give them some life. The offense has been non-existent for New Mexico State, shockingly, and that was a big deal for them. And here you got the pick 6 as well, where they need to do a whole lot more of this in order to stay in the game right now because their offense isn't giving them anything.
Yeah, you know, my impact player was Josh Atkins, and Josh Atkins is just not playing well at all for New Mexico State. Liberty's defense is doing a great job, both, again, on the defensive line and in front 7, and then on the back end securing these guys who are going deep. They just can't get anything going. I would be surprised if they don't come out and try some different schemes coming out in the second half.
You think this could be a bigger lead for the Flames right now, but there was some sloppy play. There was the holding calls that we saw multiple times, then multiple drops as well by AGG, which we're seeing right now.
Well, it's raining out there, and it's a tough weather day, but that should be no excuse whatsoever, whether or not you have sleeves on or not. My dad used to tell me if the ball touches your hand, you catch it. You catch it, no matter where it is. Right. So I've been really disappointed in the drops that I've seen from AGG today, but there's really no excuse. You got to step it up.
How big could these plays have been? Because you have to think the field that they were gaining there, it should have been a touchdown.
Well, so Liberty now at this point has 5 penalties for 54 yards, but one of them called back a run that had to have been 40 yards, and Gandy Golden had a catch that was, I believe it was 40 or 50 yards. So you talk about the swing in field position. That was huge.
Yeah. Frankie Hickson, you know, if we go back and he doesn't get a 1,000-yard season, he's going to be barking about that hold right there. But just the run game altogether this year has been fantastic for the Flames. Mike Brown has done a spectacular job.
Yeah, just being able to play with Mike Brown, Pat and I both. Mike Brown's just a competitor. He's probably instilled the same sort of mindset in those guys. I think Frankie Hickson's been one of the most highlighted players of this season. It surprised me the most. Done a great job and is able to make those one cuts and go. I love watching Frankie run.
Yeah, especially coming from 3rd on the depth chart. He has had a remarkable season. Still more to come. Make sure you stay with us. Everett was our impact player to watch on today's game. You know, a slew of picks over the course of the last 3 games for him. He come in today, he does have a pick, so that's going to make 10 in his last 4 games, but 2 touchdowns as well. How would you assess his performance so far?
They're kind of putting a lot on Buckshot, especially given the rain. I think he's responded well since throwing the interception. I think there's something that, as he comes out in the second half, we're going to need a little bit more, especially with as close as this game is.
I've been kind of surprised. It doesn't seem like he's really in rhythm or is in his element. There's been some plays where he hasn't thrown the ball very well. He's been sacked more today, I believe 3 times, which has been a surprise to me.
The latest one, though, to Farrell was a great throw.
It's a great throw. Buckshot is putting the ball where his guys can catch it. Farrell just made a great play over the defender and caught it and touchdown.
All right, second half coming up when we return.
Don't lie, where's you living here? Take a look around, at least you got friends. I call my old lady.
The new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
With Hulu, tailgating's never been better. Unlike the early days when all you had was a radio. But through the years, the experience got better and better. And now, Hulu's completely changed the game. Because you don't have to choose between tailgating or watching football live on ESPN. You can do both, no cable required. Hulu makes it so easy, the game will never be the same.
Welcome back to Williams Stadium, 28-14 Liberty on top. A moment ago, our Bobby Bullock caught up with New Mexico State head coach Doug Martin.
All right, Coach, I know how much confidence you have in your quarterback, Josh Atkins. Not able to find that rhythm yet. You know, what was your conversation to have to try to get him back into a groove?
Well, just get him to settle down a little bit. He just misses some throws. He's throwing at the right places, but he's a little behind, a little bit low.
Coach, I know today you want to leave here with a win, but for some of your seniors, this is the last game of football they'll ever get to play. What was your biggest message at the half to them?
Well, you know, they kind of took care of that themselves. A good group. You know, there's a lot of fight about them, and they're battling.
Coach, wish you the best of luck. Thanks. Guys.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. Joe, you and I were talking about at the half about Atkins, and you heard it there from Coach Martin as well. There were a couple of throws where if he was on target, it could have changed the complexion of this game, but a little bit behind, a little off target a couple of times. It's been costly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he finds his groove here in the second half because the plays have been there. It's not like he's been swamped and overwhelmed. He's had some chances to make some throws, and he's a competitor, and I'm sure he'll come out in the second half.
Another squib kick, and this time a nice return and good field position for New Mexico State as they get across the 40. Let's take a look at those stats from the first half, and I want to hide your eyes here if you're a New Mexico State fan as far as the offense is concerned. 113 total yards in the first half for the Aggies. You see what Liberty has done. We mentioned 3 non-offensive touchdowns in this game, and turnovers there are certainly an issue as well for New Mexico State, but their offense just has found no rhythm at all, and it's just been trying to get it in the hands of their playmakers. They haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I really think they really need to get away from the horizontal game.
Officials timeout.
Get away from the horizontal game and be able to run the ball at the middle.
I think the guys with the chains ran to Starbucks during the half. They're just now getting back. So the officials are going to slow things down as
there's a Starbucks right across the street.
Make their way back in. Yeah. Well, you know, it's cold. They wanted to get a seasonal beverage.
Come on, guys. Get your head in the game.
Here we go. So they're back now, and we can play some football. Mexico State at the 41. Atkins, play action, looking across the middle, has a man. Huntley with the reception. Across midfield and up to the Flames' 42-yard line. And Huntley is a guy who, as we saw on the kickoff return for a score, actually that was Caldwell there. The 7s and the 1s, Joe. Have you noticed that's given me some problems today?
Your eyes aren't what they used to be.
I am not. They don't call me Eagle Eye. I can tell you that. That's
Lewis, our spotter here, and take care of you.
He's helping me out, trying to. Atkins, pump fake, now just ducks his head and runs right into the waiting arms of Austin Lewis, who gets him down to the turf. The freshman out of Tennessee making the play.
Yeah, you see on that first play, Atkins did a really good job in the RPO to be able to pull it out, get the ball upfield, get a first down, but it's getting some type of consistent rhythm to the game for them offensively. That's what they really need.
Second sack of the season for Austin Lewis. Brings up now 2nd and 12. Atkins And looking downfield, firing, has a man, catches made at the 30. That'll be good for a first down. That snag made by O.J. Clark. Clark's been pretty quiet in this ball game. In fact, that's his second reception of the ball game.
Yeah, he really attacked the football right there. Went up there and got it, attacked the ball. The Liberty defensive back was right on top of him, tacked it. The old pluck and tuck.
First down now. This is about the most success they've had offensively today. Oh, look at him thread the needle there. Finds Clark again, still on his feet. Finally gets down inside the 10. A small window, and Josh Adkins stuck it in there.
Timing, being able to get downfield, hit that little dig route. Adkins waited, was patient, saw that window of opportunity open up, and like I said, stuck it right in there.
That window right in between the two Liberty defenders, and the Aggies are moving the football unlike anything they've done today. Atkins swings it out, catch made, cuts it up, down inside the 5. Jonathan Boone has it to about the 4-yard line.
I like the tempo they're starting to go with. After you make plays, you get first downs. Whenever you want to run a hurry-up offense, you got to be able to get the first down so you get some type of tempo going, which creates momentum on your side, gets the defense on their heels. Once again, we talked about keys to the game, red zone defense right here for Liberty.
Second and goal from the 4. They bring Caldwell in motion. They hand it to Gibson up the middle, falls forward to the 1-yard line. So it'll be third and goal from the 1 as Gibson taking the handoff, his 5th carry of the game. Haven't really been able to get him loose yet today.
Big play coming up right here for Liberty and for New Mexico State. Can they punch it in? Can Liberty make the stop?
They give it to Gibson again. Wrapped up, stood up. He's not going to get there. This Liberty defensive line in short yardage situations, especially today, have been fantastic. You think back to the 4th and 1 at the end of the first half. Now they're third and goal from the 1, and they're going to leave this Aggie offense on the field.
Coach Martin is bound to determine that he's going to get one, and I like this. I didn't like the call for going forward on 4th down in your own territory right before half, but on 4th and 1 right now, getting the ball to start the second half, to be able to score the touchdown right here. This is some good drama.
It's Huntley in the backfield this time. They're going to run the option, and it's going nowhere. Atkins hit, wrapped up, and dropped. Brandon Tillman, the first man on the scene. Then the Flames played that perfectly.
Yeah, great job by Liberty. That's attacking style defense. They didn't catch and wait. They went and attacked after him.
This Liberty defense much maligned this season, but they are playing a heck of a game today, and they'll get the ball back here early in the second half.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you and your family. Nationwide has all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus, would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh, Brad, where are you going?
Greetings, Internet. Asking for tech this year? Make sure you ask for Fios, too. Sorry, big guy.
This holiday, get a year of Amazon Prime and an Amazon Echo on us. Already have Prime? We'll cover another year. All that when you switch to Fios Gigabit Connection, the fastest internet available, plus TV and phone for just $79.99 per month with a 2-year price guarantee and a 2-year agreement. 100% fiber optic network, 100% phenomenal.
Cold day, but hey, you still have a little fun out here. Football game.
Look how cool that kid is, man. He's got his
rocking the
sunglasses
shades.
on.
Yeah, he's feeling it. They're rocking it there on the sideline as well. Brandon Tillman making the big stop. Solomon, he's got the pick 6. And they are having some fun on the defensive side of the football today. Listen, if you're playing defense for Liberty this year, it's been a tough season.
Yeah.
You know, there have been some games where it has not gone your way. When you're playing well, you deserve to have a little bit of fun like that.
Absolutely. Soak it in while you can.
You deserve to put a popcorn bowl on your head. Yeah, why not?
You know, the popcorn on the head is just a classic staple laugh right there. I mean, you're always going to get a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, where's Banana Man at today, by the way?
He may be home for Thanksgiving break.
Banana Man is not in. I'm very disappointed.
He's wearing the suit in his living room somewhere right now watching us. So the Flames take over on their own 2-yard line, trying to get a little breathing room. That'll help as Frankie Hickson Lowers the shoulder, gets out across the 5-yard line. So now the Flames, they get the stop defensively, kind of bend but don't break on that possession. But now leading it by 14, you feel like if you're able to put a good drive together here and put some points on the board, you could kind of just stretch that lead out to the point where this one may be close to being over.
When you get the ball on offense inside your own 5-yard line, you know what that's called, Matt?
What's that?
Coming out of the soup. Coming out of the soup.
Is that you learned that term in CFL? Or
yeah, CFL.
CFL
Okay,
term?
you got to get out of the soup.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the soup. See if they can pay a first down.
Frankie takes it again. He'll be close to another first down. Did he get it?
Yep.
Yep. So they pulled themselves out of the soup.
Out of the
soup. What you're saying. So they're out.
So you see all those casual football fans at home. Their husbands think they know so much about football, right? The wife walks by and she just says, "Hey, it looks like they're coming out of the soup. Hope they get a first down." What you're talking about.
I could go for some soup right now, actually.
Cool.
That sounds pretty good.
You're tying the thing together.
James handed off. Hickson again. Just that first little, it's not a drastic move, but it just kind of a little shuffle, just slides the body, kind of gets sideways through the first hole there and is then able to pick up 6 or 7.
You know, the things that you can't measure on a running back, you can measure 40 time, you can measure bench press, you can measure leg press. But one of those things you can't measure is the feel for the game and the vision of the game. That's what Frankie Hickson has allowed him to do so well. He has a great feel for the game, and he has great vision when he runs the football.
They're going to stick with him. Give it to him again. This time, sorry, your boy Terrell Hanks getting into the backfield. He was one of the tacklers there, getting Frankie to the ground for a loss. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
It's getting to that time of the game. I know there's still 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, but it's getting that time of the game from New Mexico State where you got to start getting some of these 3rd down stops in order to get your defense off the field.
It's like 3rd and a long 1. Stick with it on the ground. Hickson lowers the shoulder, keeps those legs driving, and looks like he may have got it. Yep, has it by about half a yard. They continue to feed the young man out of Lynchburg, Virginia.
That's those unsung hero type of runs. A 3rd and 1 where Frankie lowers his shoulder, uses that leg drive, picks up that half a yard to be able to get a first down. Those are the difference makers in games. Little things make the difference.
It's on the toss again. Torrey Matthews trying to get to the edge. Chased down and taken down. As looks like he'll lose a yard on the play. You've seen them try to incorporate him back into the offense some today.
Yeah, he's a good player. He gives them a good little mix-up between Frankie, Peyton Pickett, and then Cantori. Those 3 backs give a little bit something unique to the style of play for each of them.
So 2nd and 11 now. They bring Andy Golden across the formation. Play action and swing it out to Stubbs. Has to make one man miss. Couldn't do it. Good tackle out there made by DeMarcus Owens. If he's not able to get him to the ground, Stubbs may be running for a while.
Yeah, that's the key to those. Whenever you get those horizontal passes, once again, what it comes down to is what the offense is trying to do is create space. They want to make people miss in space. So defensively, what you have to do, you have to close the space. And they did a really good job of closing space and getting DJ Stubbs on the ground.
So 3rd and 9. See if New Mexico State tries to bring some pressure. Hanks coming off the edge. Buckshot standing in, thrown towards the sideline, and sailed that one up and out of bounds. So just a little bit of pressure there. Had to get rid of it maybe a little before he wanted to. And the Flames will be forced to punt.
Yeah, now that's exactly what the Aggies needed. Now, once again, the special teams has been a major factor in this game. And see what Aiden Elvis can do, see what the punt return for New Mexico State can do, and be able to get the Aggies offense back on the field, who moved the ball all the way down to the 1 yard line last drive.
O.J. Clark back awaiting the punt. Alvis gets it away. High spiraling kick. Clark will take it at about the 31 yard line. Nice job by Alvis. And the Flames defense led back out on the field. This field they've had a lot of success on today. Flames lead at 28-14.
The United States Postal Service makes more holiday deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, with one notable exception.
Inferior phone detected.
Ugh, the screen.
You know, Sprint has the awesome new iPhone XR.
Ooh, let's take a picture.
It has an amazing liquid retina display.
And now, get iPhone XR on us when you lease the latest iPhone. Switch to Sprint today.
Technical difficulties on our audio side of things, so hey, you get the call here from the guys in the studio as we'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on while Matt Warner and Joe Yock will get things sorted out, and they'll be back with you shortly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe got rid of his sleeves and had some kind of technical issue with his audio trying to get rid of that because we gave him a hard time.
Well, he might be heading over here to fight me as we speak.
Agins throwing one up. Flames covered nicely just off the hand, and this is going to be incomplete.
Liberty really lucked out on that one, that the defensive back didn't get his eyes turned. Yeah, a lot of times you see that either draws a flag or the receiver finds a way to come down with it.
That pass intended for O.J. Clark, redshirt junior. The defense has done a good job today for the Flames, guys. In a couple of sacks, you haven't seen a ton of pressure on the pocket.
No, and that's one thing that we thought coming into the season, that the Flames were going to really be pretty stout up front with a combination of Juwan Wells and Devin Pearson and Jesse Lemonnier. Those are guys that can get a lot of pressure coming off the edge. Lemonnier is a guy that is receiving some interest from a professional level. And a little-known fact, he actually has a brother that played in the NFL as well.
Jonathan Boone with that reception. That's going to get the Aggies into 1st and 10 territory. Atkins again going deep on this ball, but once again the defensive backs of the Flames having it well covered.
So I'm surprised Atkins has not had more success today through the air. He only has 150 yards through the air, 17 through 27. I mean, he had a much better game in their first game earlier this year out in New Mexico.
Yeah, and you see what New Mexico State's trying to do. They're trying to stretch the field a little more vertically, getting away from the run, because Liberty has stopped their run game pretty well.
Agins once again scrambling a little bit, pressure on him, off hands, and it looked like he might have had Boone once again, but just a little too tall for him.
Liberty really starting to dial up some defense, getting some pressure. Again, doing the cha-cha that we talked about earlier, Robert Wimberly at halftime. These guys are coming out with an energy it's looking like that they're doing a pretty good job this half.
Setting up to be 3rd and long for the Aggies. A pivotal play for them here with 6:32 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They went for it on the 1-yard line,
which I thought they should have gone for the field goal just to come away with points, because as of right now, your offense has no scores, and that's not good for the confidence in New Mexico State.
Yeah, this is going to end up short.
You've also got to wonder if the Aggies see something in the Flames defense coming out with 5 wide receivers just now. The previous few plays, we've seen 4 wide receivers. So you've got to wonder if Doug Martin and that Aggie offense is thinking that they can really exploit the Liberty defense when they go into a nickel package or into these passing situations.
That's a great point. A lot of the offenses that Liberty's defense has struggled with has been more of a passing attack. I mean, look at the statistics. Over 500 yards per game they have allowed. Most of those yards have been through the air.
Punt team now out for New Mexico State. They get this one off cleanly. And should put them in fine defensive territory. 28-14 still the score here, 3rd quarter of play. We'll be back. You're watching Flames football on ESPN.
My mom works for Chevy. My dad works for Chevy.
We're all part of the Chevy family.
And right now, so are you.
Because our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
Even you.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay, and not a cent more.
Welcome to the family. The Chevy family.
Use your employee discount for everyone to get almost $11,200 below MSRP on this Tahoe when you finance with GM Financial. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
Hey, Dad, can we give Lisa a ride home?
Sure.
ride.
The new Porsche Cayenne. There's nothing like the feeling when you sports car together.
Hey, glad you're hanging out with us here in Lynchburg on a cold, rainy afternoon. It's Saturday. Rhett McGibbon here alongside DJ Jordan, Pat Kelly, and Matt Kamari. Once again, we're having audio issues with the main guys in the booth, Matt Warner and Joe Yock. We'll get back to them shortly. But as of right now, we talked about it earlier on. The Flames defense has been the story on this day. They're able to once again get possession back of the ball for their offense, and Buckshot Calvert hoping to drive this one downfield and kind of start putting the nails in the coffin, guys.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. It's a 14-point lead right now, and we've seen this Liberty defense give up quick scores. I think it's really important for the Liberty offense to take some time right now, especially with Frankie Hickson is having a great game today. They really got to take some more time off of this clock and score.
That one handed off to Kentori Matthews. He'll get a modest gain up the middle.
Yeah, what we've seen out of the Liberty offense, as DJ pointed out, Frankie Hickson's having a great game, but they've also brought in Kentori Matthews, who's healthy. They got Pickett, who's been running the ball well. She's really good blocking, opening holes, and good vision by those guys. Running against a three-man front, it's pretty easy if you can start getting some double teams into the backers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to run the ball to try and eat some of this time up, get it closer to the fourth quarter, start putting it away.
Does look like the Aggies want to bring some pressure off the edge. Buckshot able to step up and taken down.
Yeah, coming in big there with some heat was Javon Ferguson getting the sack. That's going to be his 8th of the season. And as Matt mentioned earlier, he leads the teams in sacks this year.
And one thing that we talked about early in the game was Buckshot looks uncomfortable, and it looks to be a testament to the offensive line currently. It looks like the Aggies are dialing up good pressure, and they've been able to take Buckshot down or to make him uncomfortable numerous times throughout this game.
They were able to confuse the pass pro on that one. Kentori Matthews had his, but there was supposed to be a right tackle that was supposed to come out and get that late guy coming through.
Buckshot back, sends it, finds his man, Stubbs, nowhere to go, and he's brought down.
That's only Stubbs' 4th reception of the game. But believe it or not, with some of the issues that Calvert has had today, he still has spread the ball around to about 6 different receivers, which is something that we've grown accustomed to with Calvert, but you like to see that continue on with getting Stubbs involved in the game.
Yeah, AGG and Farrow with the touchdown so far on the day for the Flames when it comes to the air game. Hand it off. Hickson trying to drive up the middle, finds some room, breaks the tackle. He's still got some room to work with, finally brought down.
Yeah, that's just a good effort there by Frankie Hickson. This is a guy that puts his head down. He's a north and south runner. Just kept churning his legs and was able to pick up 15 yards on that carry. Really impressive run. And again, a good job up front.
And we've talked about Frankie Hickson. In my opinion, he's one of the star players of this season. He has a great bright spot, came into this year as a backup and has taken over for the injury with Kentori Matthews. And look, this guy's about at 925 yards on the year, approaching 1,000 yards, hopefully this game or next.
Running back coach Mike Brown's got to be fired up. He's got a stable of guys.
Calvert sends it, looking deep. That's well out of the reach there of DJ Stubbs.
Well, he went back to Stubbs because he's a very quick player, and most of his catches so far have been through the middle. As a slot receiver, normally he's all through that 15-yard area and in the middle of the field, but he does have breakaway speed, and I like that he was trying to go deep to stretch out the defense.
One thing worth noting, we've seen Stubbs targeted a few times this half already. I wonder if the Aggie defense is now starting to shift or to adjust to Antonio Gandy-Golden and BJ Farrow.
Hand it off. Once again, Flames are trying to go up the middle. Once again, a modest gain there for Frankie Hickson.
So Matt, give us some input here in terms of how this line is playing. What do they need to do in the rest of this quarter and into the fourth quarter to really grind this game out?
Well, a lot of the plays are just inside zone plays, and that Frankie has to continue to see. Kentori does as well. And on that play, he had the backside pressure come through. There was no cutback lane, so Frankie continued just to move up. They're playing a 3-man front, so the odds are definitely in favor of the line. 5 against 3 right there. Just got to seal the double teams and get up to the backers. You'll see that Lozano will get down the field really well as soon as he seals his first guy. But you see they bring in the backer up top. It's a late blitz. It was picked up pretty well.
It was picked up pretty well. I think it confused Buckshot still. They're having a rough time picking up that late blitz. I've seen it probably 3 different plays on this series alone.
We've seen all season, anytime he gets uncomfortable, his feet start to move, he doesn't get set, and doesn't. Obviously, in any quarterback's mechanics, when your feet aren't set, you're not going to make a good throw. But the pressure right there, the running backs are trying to pick up where the linemen aren't coming from. And the lineman right there, you saw the guard pass it off and hit the blitzer. But Calvert sees everything. And a few plays back, he saw the hot guy, and the tackle missed his block, so he's constantly thinking about that.
It's been a solid day's work for Alves. A couple weeks ago it seemed he was having a rough day in terms of punting, but in the past few games has gotten his confidence down and has made his mark today.
Which is a good thing, and there's been plenty of punting today with the bad rain conditions, the numerous drops and penalties.
Well, hey, some good news. We got the audio issues fixed, and Matt Warner, Joe Yock will return now with the call.
Thank you, guys. You gave us time to run out and get a snack, and that was great. So we may want to incorporate that in every week. I don't know. Give us a little extra time there in the third quarter. Appreciate you guys filling in. Hopefully we've got everything sorted out on our end as New Mexico State coming right back, and maybe the best throw of the day from Josh Atkins right there as he drops one in to his receiver. That was Navion Mitchell making his first appearance here today. They'll move the chains, and really at this point, down a couple scores, late third quarter, you expect to see a little urgency out of this New Mexico State offense. Swing one wide, the catch made out there by Dan, makes the first man miss, and he'll go out of bounds. Looks to be just shy of the first down, a gain of about 9 yards to the junior out of Oklahoma.
I think that's the exact word to use, Matt, is urgency. They've really got to get a sense of urgency on this drive leading into the fourth quarter coming up, see what they can put together.
Officials take a timeout. Looks like might have a knot in the chain over there.
Chain
gang is having a rough. Boy, between our audio and the chain gang are battling right now for roughest second half here. I think is they're actually going to give him. I guess they gave him a first down on that. Looked like he was shy by about a yard. They get a favorable spot. Now we'll run the ball. Huntley angling to his right, not getting much, maybe half a yard on the play.
We talked about keys to the game and the chunk yardage run plays by New Mexico State. They've really not been able to.
Officials timeout for injury.
They really haven't been able to get anything going in the run game, and I think that's hurt their rhythm offensively.
Liberty Flames player down on the turf. That looks like Amari Jenkins, the redshirt freshman linebacker. They think a lot of him moving forward. Good to see him able to get back to his feet and leave under his own power. It is still, the rain has stopped, but you look across the way, there's a fog that has rolled in here. Foggy. It is, there's also been a lot of, they did some smoke, like when the team ran out in the field for a while. I think the smoke machine got out of hand, and you could almost not see the field there for a minute or two, but now the fog just rolling into this one as it is just a dreary, cold day here in Central Virginia. Atkins, little pump fake, now lost one, looking for Dan. He's got him, and Dan can't hang on. Drew Dan was open. Atkins dropped one in perfectly, but Dan unable to snag it.
They've been waiting to run this play all day. What they did was get a quick shot out to the flat, pump faked it, and Dan was able to run a post corner route, corner bit on the inside move, ran out to the corner, had him wide open, dropped it right in the breadbasket, but wasn't able to bring it in.
And that has to be so frustrating if you're Doug Martin calling that play up on the sideline. You see it, developing perfectly for you. Just not able to execute. 3rd and 9 now. Liberty brings the linebacker down. Looks like they're going to bring pressure. They do. Atkins hangs in, throws it, and hits his receiver right between the numbers. His receiver not looking for the football. Jonathan Boone coming across the middle, hadn't gotten his head turned. And that's a frustrating way for a drive to end. You have two receivers with the ball right there on him, neither one able to catch it.
And Jonathan Boone right there has to recognize what the situation was. They brought what they call a hammer blitz. Hammer blitz coming off the edge to his side. Atkins read it, saw the blitz coming. Boone's got to get his head around, be able to catch the football and turn upfield for a first down.
Punt is away. B.J. Farrow waving for a fair catch, and he'll take it at the 12-yard line. So these offenses kind of stalling out here in the third quarter. Liberty, they're just fine with that at this stage. They're the one up 2 scores. New Mexico State's the one that's saying, man, we got to find something, get something going here.
Yeah, but yet at the same time, Liberty has to take the mindset of the attacking mindset. It's still the third quarter. It's a 2-score game that we want to go ahead and get the ball down the field and put some nails in the coffin right now. Don't let them hang around from Liberty's mindset. New Mexico State on the other side, I think defensively hasn't created a turnover in a while. To get a turnover to come right now would be perfect timing for them.
Well, Liberty's been playing pretty conservatively here in the second half, running the ball a lot. As you see right here, Frankie Hickson with another carry, able to get a couple of yards. So the Flames not necessarily churning out a ton of yardage. They are chewing up a lot of clock.
Yeah. Sometimes during the game, you get the good coaches get a feel for what is the feel of the game right now. The feel of the game is right now New Mexico State offensively really isn't doing a lot. So therefore, hey, let's try to run for first downs. If we don't get it, we'll play defense and win the football game that way.
Yeah, the Flames haven't been able to say that a lot this year. They haven't been able to play this style where they feel like, we feel fine throwing our defense out there the way they're playing. Buckshot now taking a shot down the field looking for Gandy Golden, and it's picked off! Picked off by DeMarcus Owens. Went up and got it. The senior out of McKinney, Texas, makes the big play the Aggies have been waiting for.
Let's see the replay of this. This is how you play proper defense right here. You attack to the hip of the wide receiver, get hip to hip, go up and attack the football. That is an outstanding fundamental play by Owens. And the play that the Aggies needed, now it's the offense's opportunity to be able to come in and do the job and live up to their end of the deal.
Well, you just said a few minutes ago, Aggies hadn't been able to force any turnovers here in a little bit. They get one there. See if that kind of turns the tide back in their favor. Atkins looking under pressure, now just ducks and takes the hit. Brandon Tillman, he's having a nice game. Able to get back there for the sack as Atkins had nowhere to go.
A coverage sack. They talk about a coverage sack earlier. This is a coverage sack. They tried to run the phony. They fake to the quick screen and then run the wide out down the field. Liberty got a safety over the top, covered it well. Atkins had nowhere to go with the ball. Pocket collapses. Sack by Liberty. Good coverage sack by Liberty right there.
Third sack of the day
of the third quarter
for the Flames defense, and that'll get us to the fourth quarter. No scoring from either side here in the third. Liberty maintains control of this one, up a couple of scores, but the Aggies trying to climb back in it. Should be a good fourth quarter as we wrap things up here in Lynchburg. We head to the fourth quarter. Flames up a couple of touchdowns. We talked a lot about Doug Martin today, head coach of the Aggies. His son Corey's his wide receivers coach. But it's a full family affair. His wife Vicky on the sideline as well, and our Bobby Bowling is standing by with her.
Yeah, man, Joe, I'll tell you the best thing Coach said was you'll be able to spot her because she'll probably be on the side talking a thing or two to the refs. Tell us, what is it like sitting on the sideline as the wife?
Well, not many people know who I am except the players, so it's all good. I like being amongst them, cheering them on, or maybe telling them my opinion.
Have you done this every team your husband has been the head coach at?
Yes.
Okay. And he also said, this is the other part, that Thanksgiving you had a heck of a lot of the staff members over, 20 people.
We have about 20 people every Thanksgiving, 2 days of cooking, and it's fun.
What is the best part about being on the sideline with your husband?
That I don't have to sit in the hands of armchair quarterbacks. No, I just love being amongst the players.
Thank you so much. I will let you get back to the game because I know you get into this. She was cheering before, but guys, I will send it back up to you. Best wife, I would say, brownie points in the conditions like this.
Well bundled up down there, and props to you guys for handling those conditions the way that you are. Family affair for the Martin families. They're all involved. Big third down now for Martin's squad and his young quarterback. That one batted down as Jeremy Peters getting in there and breaking it up. It was intended for Drew Dan, and now decision time once again. Fourth and short. We saw him punt the last time. They're going to do it again here. And I got to say, Joe, you and I kind of looked at each other the last time they punted on fourth and short around midfield. They're doing it again. You kind of start to think, man, you're running out of opportunities. Yeah. I got to say, I think I'd lean towards going for it here and being a little bit more aggressive in this situation, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, your time of possessions your amount of possessions is very limited right now, and so a little surprised you got the ball on Liberty's side of the field that they wouldn't go for it.
So they're set to punt it away. High spiraling kick. Again, that's Farrow back there. He lets it go over his head, and it'll go into the end zone. So good decision by B.J. Farrow as the Flames will get it out on the 20. But you're right. You're running out of possessions, and you've held this Liberty offense, a potent offense, in check so far in the second half. But all it takes is one big play, and you're three scores down, and good luck digging out of that here with 14-18 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, no question. Every defensive possession becomes critical for New Mexico State. Not only that, being able to get them on a 3-and-out, or being able to not allow Liberty to convert first downs. Well, that's what Liberty's going to try to do right now. They're going to try to run the football, convert on third down, be able to run the clock, and like you said, just be able to run it out.
Buckshot looking to set up a screen pass, finds his receiver, Gandy Golden, angling across the field, runs into a guy, now falls forward. Not much happening there on that play. In fact, looks like he lost a couple. You don't see Gandy Golden used a ton in the screen game.
Yeah, the tunnel screen. The thing is, if you can get your defensive linemen to chase the tunnel screen down the line after they see if they're willing to hustle, you can really disrupt those plays, and that's what they did right there.
So 2nd and 12. Buckshot rolling out, throwing towards the sideline. That goes out of bounds. So we've seen so far in the second half, Liberty really pound the rock on the ground, really chew up some clock. So far here in this drive, a couple of passing plays, and now it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, I was fully convinced that Liberty said, hey, they're going to punt it on 4th down to us, and we're going to get the ball. I'm fully convinced that Liberty's going to try to run the ball at the middle, grind out some first downs, and sure enough, 2 plays in a row, they're going to tunnel screen for negative yards and have an incomplete pass.
So here's 3rd and 12 now. Frankie Hickson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to either side. Calvert going to change the play. Gandy Golden and Stubbs both to the near side. Those have been his favorite targets here today. Here comes some pressure. Calvert climbs in the pocket, slings it out. Caught by Farrow, keeps his feet, and has some room to roam. Farrow gets across the 45 and taken down at the 47. A big-time catch, a big-time conversion, but no, a flag is down behind the play, and that's 3 big plays that Liberty has had taken off the board due to penalty.
This one is 100% legitimate. When we talk about Terrell Hanks being able to, oh, it looks like BJ's shaking up on the play.
Farrow got up a little limpy, grabbing at the knee there.
But Matt, you talk about how Terrell Hanks is able to disrupt a football game. He disrupted a football game right there. He came off the edge, lowered the shoulder. The only option the Liberty tackle had to do was wrap his arm around his neck and take him to the ground. It was a clear-cut hold, easy call for the referee.
So another penalty for the Flames that kills what would have been a big chunk yardage play. And there's a look at Hanks, who has made his presence felt at times today on the defensive side of the ball for the Aggies. Now after that penalty, it'll be 3rd down and 21.
Hanks does a really good job of his timing on blitzes. He sort of knows what the snaps count is going to be, and he runs up there and hits it on a dead run.
Flames just hand it off to Hickson. He gets about 4 or 5, and that'll do it. The punting unit will come on for Liberty.
Well, New Mexico State got exactly what they wanted.
They did.
They got the clock. There's still 13 minutes left in the game, and they're able to get Liberty and to punt it right here and just hopefully get the ball for them in good field position.
Yeah, Flames didn't use much clock at all on that possession, and now New Mexico State really has a chance to get great field position. And let's see if they try to come after this one with Hayden Alvis having his heels right there on the goal line.
See, I'd come after this one. They got them backed up and, like I said, on their own goal line. Come after this one, try to get a block. Looks like they're playing it safe.
Alvis gets away a pretty good one, angling towards the near sideline, and that'll hit at the 37 and go out of bounds. So Hayden Alvis getting it done. Getting it done today. That'll get us to a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Flames still up a couple of touchdowns, trying to hang on. Pick up another win, the 5th of the season.
Coach, that wasn't a very pretty first half. How are you going to get back in the game?
Toilet.
Cool. Thank you for your time.
Bleep, bleep.
Defensive slugfest here in the second half. Mexico State hoping to change that as they have the ball now. Down a couple of scores. Atkins hangs in there, fires, finds his receiver. Big chunk of yard across the 40 and taken down there. As that was O.J. Clark making the snag. And we've seen some signs of life from New Mexico State here in the second half. They just haven't been able to finish the job and get any points on the board.
That was one of Atkins' best throws of the day right there. He had to pump it a little bit, allow the receiver to come open, hit him over the middle. Nice throw.
Here comes some pressure. Lemonnier gets in there and gets him to the ground. Jesse Lemonnier with the sack. He now has 10 on the season, and he has turned into quite the weapon coming off that edge for the Flames.
Jesse Lemonnier is a relentless pass rusher. That's what I like about him. He never takes a play off, and he's relentlessly pursuing the ball.
So loss of 3, second 13. Now Lemonnier coming again. Atkins able to move out of the pocket, looking downfield. Now going to try to run it. Not going to be able to get far. Wrapped up, taking down Elijah Benton there for the tackle. Benton leads this team in tackles. Good stop there, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Really like Elijah Benton and his ability to close on the ball. Elijah Benton is another local kid here from Lynchburg, and in fact, guess who one of Elijah Benton's rec league football coaches was?
Taught him everything he knows, didn't you?
Everything he knows, yeah.
3rd and 13. Atkins standing, waiting, looking, firing downfield, and a great catch. Sliding grab made. Good enough for a first down as Jonathan Boone made the play.
That's where the Aggies have something going right now. Atkins is throwing the dig route very well. His best timing, his best throws have been at the dig route over the middle.
So a big conversion as they have the ball sitting on the Flames 25. Atkins looking out, throwing to his left. Oh, great break on the football. Jeremy Peters coming up. And New Mexico State fortunate that just ended in an incomplete pass. If he's a half step quicker, he might have taken that thing and run about 80 yards.
Jeremy Peters is having a really good football game. He has made some very physical plays in closing on the ball and tackling. Really like his style of play today.
Leads the Flames with 10 pass breakups, making 11 after that one. He is a physical corner, no doubt. 4 wide receivers for the Aggies.
2 high safety look for the dig route again.
Atkins climbing in the pocket, now going to try to take off and is able to fall forward for about 4.5 or 5. So made something out of it. Couldn't find anything open up downfield, and he comes up a little bit gimpy.
Now we're getting down to crunch time, Matt. This is when things start getting fun. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 here. Ball's on the Liberty side. See what they dial up.
Lofting one towards the back corner of the end zone. Jump ball knocked away. He was looking for Caleb Mills, and Jeremy Peters was there to break it up.
Jeremy Peters, captain of the team, lead by example, coming up, tackling, getting people on the ground, knocking balls away that could be touchdowns. That's leadership football player right there.
Here's another look at it. Peters just 5'10". Going up against a 6'5" receiver, and Mills able to knock it down, and the Aggies are going for it on 4th. Here we go. Flames bringing pressure. Atkins hangs in, fires downfield, incomplete. This defense bends but doesn't break yet again. That's been the theme of this second half.
Once again, the red zone defense being able to make the stops. They get down inside around the 20-yard line and be able to make those stops when it counts. That's how you win football games. Great job by Liberty's defense.
Just enough, and you can see Atkins kind of get off his spot there, have to kind of fall away from that throw a little bit. And the Flames will come back onto the field. Now let's see, 10:03 to go in this ball game. Let's see if Liberty starts this with a run and tries to now chew up a little bit of clock. On the last drive, they came out throwing. We'll see the approach here from offensive coordinator Joe Daly. Oh, a little run pass option. They get it out to Gandy Golden, spins out of 1 tackle, and then goes forward. He'll pick up about 8 on first down.
How many catches does Gandy Golden have?
He's got 7 now. 7 for just a shade under 50 yards. So he hasn't broken the big play yet, although he had a big one wiped out because of a penalty.
That's right.
But it's been a lot of plays just like that. Hand off now to Frankie Hickson. He'll have the first down. Hickson Now over 110 yards on the ground today on 21 carries. He's been the workhorse.
I really like the concept of what Joe Daly's game plan was coming into this game. In the short side of the field, throw the hitches to Gandy Golden. He picks up 7-8 yards, and then now you're putting yourself a second short. Be able to run the ball at the middle, especially now, and grind the clock out.
Is that run pass option again to Gandy Golden. The stiff arm, get off me, makes another man miss. And now takes on the initial tackler one more time. He picks up 13. That, what do you like to say that? That's a man-sized play right there.
When you stick that forearm right there, you stick that hand right down the shoulder, give me that. I said, give me right there, give me that.
Gandy Golden starting to make some plays here on this drive. Now over 60 yards receiving, and shows you his elusiveness and strength all in one play. Hand off now to Hickson, picking his way through the defense. He's able to get about 4, maybe 5.
New Mexico State, they really need to get a stop right here and get the ball back into their offensive hands. It's coming down to crunch time with 8 minutes to go here. There's only maybe a couple possessions left for them, so if they're ever going to get a stop, this is when they need it right now.
Aggies do have all their timeouts, but yeah, you're exactly right. They're looking up at that clock, watching this game waste away, needing a big play. 2nd and 6. 3 wide receivers out. They're going to give it to Hickson. Bounces it outside, lowers the shoulders, able to pick up a couple of yards, and has some words for one of the New Mexico State defenders. Frankie Hickson is a guy who's never shy to voice his opinion, to let you know, great kid, love talking to him, great interview. And I have to think, and you saw right there, he probably has some words for everybody out there on the field as well when he's got it going. Hickson takes it again, runs into a pile, going to be close to that first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, this one is going to be close.
I look to you, Eagle Eye here. What are you seeing? What are you seeing, Joe?
I got to see the ball get on the ground, man. Let me see him place this thing, and Eagle Eye will give you the call. 4th down. 4th down. Ooh, are they going to go for it?
They will not. On comes the punting unit. It's about 4th and half a yard.
Punt it well as your defense has played. You think about this. How the Aggies scored today? They scored an interception for a touchdown, and they took the long kickoff back. Offensively, they haven't scored a point.
No.
So yeah, nothing. Good move here by Coach Turner Gill to be able to pin them back in their own end and let their offense see if they can make some plays.
Aiden Alvis kicks it down inside the 20. The fair catch will be taken at the 10. So Flames not able to put any points on the board, but other than that, they did what they wanted to do. Used up some clock, and the Aggies a long field, and they'll try to make something happen here offensively over the last 6 minutes, 45 seconds of this ballgame.
Family's the most important thing. Don't do what I did. I put work in front of family. I didn't deserve forgiveness. This is the last one. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for everything.
The Mule. Rated R.
There's no one I'd rather hit the road with.
No one I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
No one I'd rather lean on.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. The Ever Us 2-Stone Collection. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us, now 30% off at Kay.
6:45 to go here. Military Appreciation Day in Lynchburg. As we look at Sparky there.
Sparky,
yeah.
Carlton right there. It's not unusual.
Okay, yes. Take it easy.
Hey, I try to sing at least once a game.
There you take
Give me a little slap.
Yeah.
Voice of an angel.
There you're taking a look at what this Liberty defense has done today. Only 276 yards allowed compared to what they've averaged on the season. They have done a fine job, and New Mexico State running out of time. Atkins stepping up in the pocket, has a receiver across the middle. He will connect for a nice first down to Boone. Good start to the drive. We've seen New Mexico State here in the second half, though. They put some stuff together early in a drive and then kind of stall out, kind of a first down away from really being having an opportunity to score. Here's a run. Haven't seen that a lot here in the second half. He's still going. Boy, churning the feet, getting some help from his buddies.
It's a good hard run by Gibson.
That was actually Huntley on the carry. And nice run there on first down.
Atkins is throwing the inside route right over the middle. That has been his best throw all day. And Liberty's playing with the two high safeties, which gives you that throw. You got to keep going back to it.
They're going to keep it on the ground. Huntley gets the first down, and we're seeing him have some success.
Officials timeout for a helmet off.
Somebody lost their hat, so they're going to get that taken care of. So you're seeing really the most we've seen on the ground game from them, it feels like, in the second half, but it's coming with under 6 minutes to go here in the ball game. Now Atkins looking downfield, has a receiver coming across the middle, and he drops it. He was looking for O.J. Clark, and I'll say this, Atkins hasn't had his best game. He's also had some big drops in this ball game.
Yeah, like a play like that, when you start getting down with 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the game, you need 2 scores. You have to make all those plays.
So 2nd and 10 now. And you get the feeling it almost doesn't matter what position they're in. You're running out of possessions here. This may be 4-down territory from here on out for them. Atkins trying to avoid the rush, gets rid of it. And they'll pick up about 5 as he completes that pass to O.J. Clark. He snagged that one. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 or 5.
If you're looking at things from Coach Martin's position right now, you're saying, hey, we probably have a chance for 2 possessions. Take it one play at a time, be able to get a first, convert on a 3rd down right here to be able to get the first and get a score on this drive.
Folks that are still here coming to life behind their defense, trying to urge him on. Flames bringing pressure. Atkins avoids it, now fires too tall for his receiver, Drew Dan. And if he had connected, Dan may be dancing in the end zone.
Yeah, the next thing he would have seen was a goal line, a man coverage, and they were to weave his way through there. Atkins just missed him. Like I said, he catches that ball, turns upfield, that's a touchdown.
A lot of narrow misses today for this Aggie offense, and boy, do they need one now on 4th down. This team just 2 of 14 on 3rd down, 1 of 5 on 4th down today.
Ouch.
Lemonnier closing on him, wraps him up, takes him down. Ball came out, Liberty recovers it. Still no whistle, Flames have it. So the strip, the fumble, Flames recover. That was Elijah Benton picking up the football. And the Flames now very close to putting the final nail in the coffin.
And we talk about being relentless earlier. Jesse Lemonnier being relentless right there after the quarterback.
That'll get us to a timeout. This Flames defense does it again and puts themselves in a great position to close out this ball game.
No one gonna love you like I do. No one gonna love you so true. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do for you.
Dare to be devoted. Jared.
Are you ready?
0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Introducing the Genesis G70.
All back, 4:58 to go in this game, and the story of the evening has been this Liberty defense. With more on that group, we check in once again with Bobby Bowler.
Yeah, Matt, this defense has had their share of adversity, but what has impressed defensive coordinator Robert Wimberly the most was the guys never changed. He said Monday was still Monday, Tuesday was still Tuesday, and you couldn't tell the difference in their attitude from camp until now. He said everyone might judge the season by the record, but what I have learned from this group of guys is they are one mentally tough group of guys. He said, I preach this every day, that the game of football is so much more than wins and losses. It's a lot of disappointments as well as in life. He says, but if you can learn to be the same guy, regardless of the circumstance, you're not only going to succeed on the football field, but you're going to also succeed in life.
Yeah, Robert Wimberly, great guy. I know, Joe, you and I have got to know him over the years.
First timeout of the half.
And it has been a tough year for this defense.
Timeout.
But you've seen some sparks. You've seen some moments. That Troy game earlier this year, the effort that they put forth here today, you've seen some flashes of perhaps what this defense could be down the line.
I mean, that's a great message that Bobby shared with us, that Robert Wimberly, and whatnot. But the thing with Liberty's defense is, once again, like you said, they show signs of being a really good defense. And then other times when you really look at them on film, there's just some fundamental lapses that happen, whether it's in the secondary, whether it's in the front seven. And to be able to clean up those fundamentals and to be able to do that consistently, play after play after play, is when you get good and you stop riding a roller coaster. But today, you got to give them credit. They have consistently played well throughout the whole game today.
Absolutely. So the Flames on offense now. You saw the quick timeout from New Mexico State after the first down run. Flames will give it to Frankie Hickson again. Not much there. Aggies, will they take another timeout? They will.
Timeout. New Mexico State, their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds, timeout.
Trying to preserve some clock.
Please set the game clock to 4:48. 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
So it'll be third down for Liberty, and Mexico State needing a stop here to give themselves any kind of chance, you would think. It has to be a frustrating way this season has gone for New Mexico State. You know, last year they played well, they made a bowl game and won, and kind of taken a step back. Certainly they lost a lot of talent from a season ago. You're breaking in a young freshman quarterback this year. So the record not what they had hoped for. Much like, Liberty in some ways, you see the pieces there that you could see developing into a good squad in the future. And these two teams will get to know each other, continue to get to know each other next year as they play each other 2 more times. Frankie Hickson thrown to the ground, and one more timeout, the final timeout of the ball game, used by New Mexico State.
Timeout. New Mexico State, their third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So they're going to get the ball back with about 4.5 minutes to go.
When you talk about defensive football and Liberty's defense, I really believe this, man. And I think you look at all the really good defenses throughout the country. They have depth on the front lines. They have a great front seven, and have depth at the defensive line position and depth at the linebacker position. When you can recruit around that, that's where you start your basis. We're going to find 8 defensive linemen, bring them on campus, find the best restaurants to take them to, feed them like kings, show them around Liberty, show them the football facilities, and you build a defense around that, and you build that around that front seven. That gives you the opportunity. That's the major piece of the puzzle to get straight in order to have a great defense.
Yeah, that's the challenge for Liberty as they continue in to becoming an FBS program and move forward in that process. Continuing to build. That punt made, and Alvis hits, takes a beautiful roll, and everything is turning out well for Aiden here today. He has had himself a ball game. That one goes out of bounds at the 17, and it'll be another long field for New Mexico State. You're exactly right, though. As you're Liberty now, you're done with the whole transition, right? Next year, you're a full-fledged FBS member.
Yeah.
This is where you hope those recruiting classes, they start going up, a tick or two. And that's what, Turner Gillis said. We're recruiting guys now that we never would have gotten a return call from 2 or 3 years ago.
That's right. You look around, you see the facilities, you see everything that Liberty has to offer.
A incompletion as that one juggled and dropped by Jonathan Boone. Another drop for this receiving core of the Aggies, and they begin this drive with an incompletion. Five wide receivers, empty backfield. And if you're this Liberty defensive line, you're just pinning your ears back and coming right now. Drew Dan makes the catch, drugged down. Looks like he may have enough for a first down. He will. So the Aggies need to work quickly.
Yeah, Aggie's got to hit something. Liberty's going to give them everything underneath right now. Aggie's going to have to take a shot downfield at some point. They've used their timeouts.
Atkins avoids the rush, rolling out, throws it out of bounds as he's just living to fight another day. Mexico State now has outgained Liberty on the ball game, 324 to 298, but that's a lot of empty yardage. It's been a lot of yardage between the 20s.
Yeah, good point.
They have not been able to cash in and finish off drives. So second down. Atkins looking across the middle, broken up, nearly picked off by Solomon Ajayi. He's already got one today that he returned for a touchdown. Nearly had himself another.
Many of those inside dig routes that Atkins has hit today, sooner or later, you can only go to the well so often, and now one of those you can get undercut at some point, yeah, get intercepted. So very, 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 very close play there by Solomon.
3rd and 10. Atkins gonna run it. Has some room, has the first down, and slides down after about a 14, 15-yard gain.
Jesse Lemonnier on that play was coming after him. Really impressed with the game that he has played today, getting after the quarterback. He was just getting ready to fold into the pocket there and get Atkins before he stepped up and scrambled for a first down.
Atkins looking downfield, delivers a strike. Catch made, breaking free. And now stepping out of bounds was Drew Dan, able to shed the initial tackler and pick up another 7 or 8 yards after the fact.
That was one of Atkins' better throws. That's a long throw over there to that sideline. He put that thing on a rope right over to him. Being able to get the first down, get out of bounds. Clock moving now.
Atkins climbing in the pocket, firing towards the sideline again. The catch made once again by Drew Dan, gets out of bounds with another first down. So you're seeing the Aggies move the football,
yeah,
but we've seen this before. This has been about the point here in the second half where things have stalled out. They're only looking for touchdowns here. Field goals do you no good at this stage in the game. They got to put it in the end zone.
2 high safeties, attack the middle of the field.
Atkins does just that, and it's dropped. Looking for Caleb Mills. He dropped it and then took a shot from Corbin Jackson.
Really impressed with the physicality of Liberty's defense today, especially the secondary. They're closing on the football and they're finishing plays. Tackling after catches, breaking up balls, being able to finish plays in the secondary with really, really good physicality. That's impressive.
That's one of those plays where you're probably better suited for that to be an incompletion.
Yeah.
If you're the Aggies. Would have only picked up a few yards and the clock would have been running. Atkins hangs in there, fires down the middle, catch made inside the 10. Jonathan Boone making the snag. He takes it down to the 8-yard line. So they are knocking on the door now with 2:48 to go in this ball game. Quickly, the Aggies running to the line.
Let's see Liberty drop a middle back there, be able to intercept that ball.
Handoff. Run it inside the 5, taken down at the 3. So the clock continues to move.
Really like how the Aggies are competing. They've not given up whatsoever. They're going fast. They're trying to get in the end zone, get a chance for an onside kick here. I really respect their competitiveness.
4 wide receivers out. Atkins hands it to Huntley, trying to get outside. Can't quite do it. The defense does its job. Jeremy Peters got there to bounce him out a little bit further, and he stopped short of the end zone.
Jeremy Peters, once again, I know we've been talking about him a lot, but he's got that C on his chest for captain, and there's a reason for that. Aggressiveness, a playmaker, being able to make him bounce outside. Big down right here.
Clock continues to tick. Under 2 minutes now. 3rd and goal from the 4. Atkins going to loft one towards the back of the end zone, looking for his receiver. Dan, did he make the catch? No. Would have been a difficult catch as he got kind of turned around. Drew Dan unable to bring it in, and this is basically your ball game.
Will Liberty do it again? Another 4th down play. What are they on 4th down again, Matt?
1 of 6.
1 of 6. Can the Flames hold them one more time, or will the Aggies give themselves a chance to score and get an onside kick?
4 wide receivers out. They need 4 yards to find pay dirt. And Liberty.
Timeout. Liberty. Their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Flames want to talk about it.
Good timeout.
Want to get on the same page? As this is, as you said, a huge play. And if you're New Mexico State, you still need a lot of things to break right at this stage of the game. You got to score, then you got to get the onside kick, then you got to do it again. But it all begins right here on 4th and 4.
This is college football. We've seen some crazy things happen.
Let's take a look back at what really got this drive going. Big play there to Boone. Got him down inside the 10-yard line. Set them up where they are right now. But can they finish it off?
Really like Boone as a receiver. He's not afraid to go over the middle. Said earlier, he's tall, lanky young man who's able to go up and get the ball, not afraid to take a hit. There's some young talent on this Aggies team.
Well, let's see where Josh Atkins looks here in this clutch situation. Keep an eye on the running back out of the backfield. He loft one back corner of the end zone. Caught and a touchdown. He was looking for and found his target. That's Navion Mitchell. They've only thrown to him one other time today. You're thinking, will they go to Dan? Could it be O.J. Clark? Maybe Huntley out of the backfield? No, Navion Mitchell makes the play, gets the foot down, and gives his team a chance.
Little one-step stick post-corner route.
Boy, just did squeeze that right foot inbounds. So a big-time throw and catch here with under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Now the extra point coming.
The Aggies won't go away.
They're not going away.
I'll tell you what, tough bunch.
It's been a
tough
struggle for them today offensively, but they're trying to make something happen here late. Extra point up and through. And so now you expect Liberty to put the hands team out there and get ready for an onside kick attempt as you take another look at that touchdown. Boy, Tillman right in his face.
Tillman was right on top of him right there. Atkins be able to throw it around him and still put it in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
Atkins up to 313 yards passing in the ball game.
It's onside kick time. Sometimes these are exciting, Matt, and sometimes the drama builds, and then it's like
nothing.
Oh, that was a letdown.
It's a one-hopper to the guy, guy right there.
So let's see.
Well, we'll
let's
see.
what we get.
You'll remember back when Liberty played Idaho State, kind of a similar deal. Idaho State scored late, went for an onside kick, and had a golden opportunity to recover. They didn't fall on it, and that ended up basically being the game. Liberty sends the hands team out there. See Antonio Gandy Golden, DJ Stubbs right there on the front line, as Dylan Brown is set to kick this one.
There we go.
High hopper snagged by nice who else? Antonio Gandy Golden, using all of that 6'4" frame to go up there and get it. And that pretty much put an end to this ball game.
That was not an easy play. He got the high hop that they wanted, and
if that gets over him, it's anybody's guess at that point.
Yep, it's a scramble. That's a really nice play.
As you saw an Aggie shooting in behind him that would have had a play on the football. So Gandy Golden had some drops in this game. That may have been his biggest catch of the evening right there.
Take a knee now.
Flames in the victory formation.
No timeouts, correct?
That's right.
Very good.
The Flames can just run this one out and move to 5-6 on the season. Well, the offense that had been so good all year long. Obviously, the last game against Auburn, you throw that out. But this offensive Liberty shut out here in the second half, and yet they're still going to find a way to win this ball game. And you know what? Good teams, they do that.
That's exactly
when what they do best maybe isn't working that day, they find other ways. And that's what the Flames have done here today.
What a way to avenge themselves for Liberty defensively after having 49 points scored on them.
That's right.
Really hold the Aggies offense to 7 points today. It's a great job by them.
They say, hard to beat a good team twice.
That's right.
That's proven true here in this series this season. We'll find out again next year how it goes.
Yeah, back-to-back again next year, right?
Yep, they'll do it again. These players will know each other very well after this is all said and done.
Yep.
Flames will need to take a knee one more time.
A happy Thanksgiving to you, Matt.
And to you too, Joe.
It was. Hope you had a good one with your family and got your
Absolutely.
turkey on. Did you get your turkey on?
You know I did. And the Flames can celebrate Thanksgiving in style as they get a much-needed win. After 3 straight losses, they get a win that they feel like they needed desperately, and they still have one more game to go next week against Norfolk State to get to 6-6. And yeah, keep that streak of not losing seasons alive as they're able to get the job done today. 28-21 the final. Wasn't always pretty, but the stat maybe of the day, or a couple of them, Liberty holding New Mexico State to just 3 of 16 on third down conversions, 2 of 7 on fourth down conversions.
It's your game.
And the defense stands tall and gets the job done. So a good win for Liberty. You can check out our Facebook Live post-game show on the Liberty Athletics Facebook page shortly after this broadcast. Also hear from Turner Gill and some other folks here after a big Liberty win. So for Joe Yawk, for Bobby Polig, I'm Matt Warner saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia, where the final score is 28-21. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Once again, Liberty wins it 28-21. Have a great night, everybody.